Uh-oh. Ian crashed. Ian
Oh,
crashed
that was
as
perfect
soon as
timing.
we went live. That's fun. Well, hello everyone. I'll do our intro while Ian gets back reattached, our dungeon master for the evening. My name is Jonesy, your gloob for the evening, and these fine gentlemen on these sides of me are my compatriots in anarchy and chaos as we go through Saltmarsh. I do have some announcements actually, so you know what? I will take this time and hopefully we get our dungeon master back soon because I'm not sure what to do without him.
We're on level 20.
We'll be running a quick one shot, boys. So if someone wants to Facebook message Ian first and foremost to see what might be going on, appreciate that. Secondly, our Extra Life campaign is back up and running. You do !charity in the chat to get our new link. We have a goal of $2,000 for the year, which I am sure that we can hit. It was also what we were just shy of from our last campaign. So we still have all of our same prizes that we're going to be giving away. Plus, we're going to be adding some extras. Our first one at $200 is going to be a digital copy of Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. I have a feeling that we're probably going to hit that by this week, and then or next week rather. And then we also have at certain milestones we're going to be doing a SteelSeries gaming mouse and a SteelSeries gaming keyboard. So go check out Extra Life. The new campaign is up and running. Our dungeon master has returned. Wonderful.
Yep. Yeah, y'all said I disconnected, and I sat here for like a solid 30 seconds going, what? I'm right here, and then Skype crashed. I was like, oh, I see.
That's crazy.
Well,
interesting.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Glad to be back. Anywho, that being said, does anybody else have any announcement? Even though I didn't make any of them. Nope. Okay. Last week on the Ghost of Saltmarsh, our brave heroes reaped the rewards of their daring do, having defeated the Sahuagin, for now at least, as far as they're aware. Traveling for a good while, Bartholomew undergoing not tutelage necessarily, but assisting of Eldon Barrowstone, a fellow follower of Soroli, who emphatically requested his assistance with tending to the wounded and sickly as the result of the battles. As well as Eldon as well went around and asked the other party members to tell him about Bartholomew, receiving mixed responses in varying levels of response in general, as well as getting a bit of reward from Eleander Firebrand as well as Queen Othokent. There had been some negotiations between the two of them as to what number of magical items and what magical items may be available for the party to choose from, each of them making their choice, further accruing magical power under their belt. They made their way to the rest of the way to Saltmarsh, making a brief pit stop of Gloobs at a familiar, to him at least, gravesite of a old friend who set him on his path and paid her his respects and updated her onto his new tribe and the things that they had been doing. Also kind of revealing some of his past to his party members. They then made their rest of the way to Saltmarsh, docking in the familiar but oddly the same but somehow changed, if not for itself but for themselves, in Saltmarsh, taking a brief pit stop at one Captain Zendros' location. It's kind of hard to call it a tent now. Weird in between thing that she's got going on. Checking out her wares, picking up some extra potions, a nice rope, as well as receiving news that no response had been received from the letters that both Jakob and Julian had sent previously before they embarked upon their journey to deal with the Sahuagin. exiting her establishment, intending to head towards the snapping line for a nice warm dinner and sleeping in a bed that wasn't on the water. They were waylaid by a anxious young man who asked desperately that they come meet with his father, who had some assistance of them to ask, leading them to their formerly captured vessel that they had taken from some smugglers, walking right past some guards and leading them into the galley, of which Bartholomew at least is quite familiar. After some brief tribulations, our party followed him inside, coming across a blue-greenish gentleman, dressed quite finely in some garb similar to Gloob's, before he stood and introduced himself as Captain Prospero Artois, and asking them to have a seat, and informing them that they had much to discuss. And that is where we're going to pick back up this session, as you have arms spread out before you, this ornately garbed gentleman with his kind of coral crown that sprouts from the side of his head and pointing up, his weirdly elvishly long ears but split at the ends. None of you, I believe, have probably seen anybody like this before. He is striking as a figure. He stands with his hands outstretched, still kind of gesturing. Please, have a seat. As you have two figures that had stepped out of the shadows behind you, closing the door, as well as one that had kind of come out from where the food was stored. The gentleman who had previously led you in and had this kind of very meek and hunched demeanor, now straight backed and kind of walks past you guys to take up a position behind the captain as well. Kind of got him here as quick as I could, boss.
Real quick, can I do like an insight check to sort of gauge the room if this is I'm going to strong arm you into doing something, or I have a super secret task for you?
I mean, you're welcome to roll.
Sure. Yeah, it's a fucking great roll. 18 plus, I think, 8.
So total 26?
26, yeah. Okay. I was just getting back over to my character sheet.
He seems to quite earnestly believe that he has something that important to discuss with you.
Okay, cool. That's very important. I didn't know it was going to go, I'm going to ambush these guys and make them do it. Okay, great.
I would be looking for signs of like impending violence, like hands on weapons, like anybody making moves towards weapons.
Make either an insight or perception check, your choice, as you kind of glance around the room.
You know, I'm going to be taking the perception. It's a +1 or a +4, and that's going to be a 19 for perception.
Total 19?
Yep.
I mean, the gentleman that had led you guys there, you see step back, and as he's kind of stepped around, you see him fish down and pull out a belt that has both a rapier and a dagger on it, and is currently looping that back onto his person. The other gentleman behind him is a larger figure, armored, seems to have a shield in one hand and a kind of like a heavy kind of war axe in the other, one-handed, of course. And he has it kind of looped through his belt, and he has a hand resting on the top of it. The two gentlemen behind you are less heavily armed, but both very bulky individuals, and nobody has weapons drawn, but all of them have everybody except for the captain is now kind of hands-on weapons, if not like about to draw. They are prepared for you guys to react adversely.
I'll just say, makes any difference? I think I'm going to stand.
Your choice. Very well.
Well, I mean, I can't say it's very nice to just kind of be in somebody's house, but I mean, if we're going to have guests, we might as well get them something to eat. So I'm just gonna.
Let us talk first, please. Very.
Blue is enchanted by the drip and is already sitting down.
See?
Well, I mean,
I think his internet's struggling.
Oh no. Ian, if you can still hear us, just go ahead and call it in, buddy. Try to get it going.
Exit out of Skype and retry.
Yeah. Oh, I hear something.
It's like I can still hear him.
Jesus Christ.
The voice of God.
No. I'm over here getting my dice all trained up to the correct numbers, and they're not even going to get rolled because we're going to be frozen solid the whole night.
Hey, calm down.
Oh.
Calm down.
I heard him just say for someone to calm down, but I don't know if it was us or a cat or something.
No, I will have to fix this at some point, I suppose. I guess my internet connection's having a little bit of trouble. However, we'll give it one more before I have to resort to extreme measures.
Okay.
Hey, Shorty, have a seat.
All right. I will have a seat, pull out a pipe, and give it a light.
Just kind of looking to either side as he's taking his seat. Bit of a heavy sigh. Well, let's get this over with. Cross
Wonderful.
one leg over the other.
Sits himself back down in the chair he had been occupying. So, I have heard very much about all of you. Done a little looking myself. Very impressive with the things you have done with the Sahaka. Very impressive. And with the Noni. Very nice.
Yeah, we get around a little bit.
Very capable individuals. Capable is good. Yes. But
You've made things work so far.
Indeed you have. I've also heard about the run-in you had with one of my colleagues.
No words.
Bit of a
only
draw.
ways I go.
Bit of a draw from what I understand.
Talking about
That's
the
how you measure.
old golden eye.
Ah. Fair and all, yes.
A
Oh,
draw
yeah.
is a flattering way to put it, but we'll take the compliment.
Oh. Vast majority of your crew dead, but you were not captured, which was, of course, his goal. So,
His ship on fire.
apparently damaged, yes. He receives quite a scolding for that, I'm sure. But, Farenzel he is a fighting dog. Nothing more. He does not know how to do anything else. But, I have been sent with a proposal for all. I believe you have an interest in looking over at you, Julian, a certain doctor that is on the Sea Prince's payroll. And he has an interest in you. Hence, Farenzel's involved. But you see, my prince has decided that the doctor is not turning much of a benefit for us. His experiments are not proving as successful as he promised. And well, it's a lot of work. He's very demanding. But a lot of you, on the other hand, well, you provide nothing but results. So, our proposal is this. We, my prince and his allies, will withdraw what protections that we have provided to this doctor. Even show you the way. But in return, to compensate for the loss of time and money invested into the doctor, you all will do some work for us. Yes. Very good deal.
Julian is very actively not reacting.
So you're saying you want us to do jobs for you, and in return, you'll tell us where the doctor's at and pull your support from him?
Yes, those that we can. There are some of the princes who still enraptured by his experiments. So,
All right.
but those that we can, yes.
And what type of work would this entail?
Well, it would depend on what needs done. Nothing that any of you would find too distasteful, I assure you. I have done my research. Righteous men.
Right. Okay. Well, I'd like to hear the job first before we agree to anything.
It would depend. Be of our choosing.
All
When
right.
the time came, we would let you know.
Oh, so it's an
legality?
open job.
Indeed. Maybe a couple. Yes, depending on what it is we end up sending you on. If it's a bit of a cakewalk, well, what's the point? How do we get a proper return on our investment?
Will you be pulling support and protections for the doctor prior to or after services rendered?
Oh. Before. And so we hold up our side of the bargain. And then, of course, you will hold up yours.
And the
So,
legality of
Go ahead, Jacob.
the legality of this would be
How do you mean? We are pirates. It's only
And
so
as you
legal we get.
as the words that you said, we're righteous men.
You are. Like I said,
Don't tend to break the law.
nothing too distasteful. Ah,
I mean, distasteful for
Correct,
me is
Ben.
different than distasteful for you.
that is true. Like I said, not distasteful for you. If it makes you feel better, tell me, what are jobs that you would refuse? No, under no circumstances, no grounds that you would do.
Unjustified murder?
That is a very broad definition.
If we go to this this doctor's place, I understand he was doing bad things, and probably
Yes.
to other people who didn't deserve them. Is there any type
Probably.
of stipulations on what we do with the place while we're there,
Oh,
or
I
any
care
of
not.
the people there, or stopping what's going on?
My prince cares not.
Hmm.
This is a mutually beneficial deal. You do whatever you wish with the place, with the establishment.
But y'all,
We no longer have to make investments.
y'all have people protecting them right now, right?
We do, yes.
Oh,
We will pull
okay.
that protection.
I
This is, of
understand.
course, you understand. You are a cat's paw
Mm.
in a way.
So
But
we're supposed to be
A mutually beneficial cat's paw.
a random third party that doesn't come back to you.
And not particularly random.
Well,
You have all the motivation in the world to wish to do
a,
away with it.
a convenient cat's paw that don't lead back to you.
Indeed.
All right. That's
It is only after the fact when we will strike up a business association. By then, oh, it is too late. The doctor is gone. So sad.
And should we arrive and the doctor is not present or fully prepared for our arrival,
Ah,
any
That's
future
right.
business would be null and void.
he just kind of waves his hand from that. Don't worry. We are professionals.
Done.
The poll will be our pulling of protection and your arrival will coincide. So, we have a deal.
My wife, she's
Julian
a
is
business.
already standing up and approaching the man.
I'll put my hand on Julian's shoulder. My wife is a businesswoman in Seaton.
Mm.
And something she's always talked to me about is never making a deal without knowing the other end of it. Essentially giving them as much as they want when you get a set amount. I mean, you haven't put the definition of how many jobs we're having or what we're doing. You could have us on your payroll for years and years and years to come because we make this agreement with you. And I myself,
I suppose that is possible.
I'm a loyal subject of the king. I don't break
Tragic.
any laws, and I don't think that my compatriots are too keen on some of them a little bit more. But I would say we're not bad men. We wouldn't want to
Of course.
end up going down a bad route, so to say.
I see. As I said, nothing that would turn your stomachs. More of the, probably more, as an example, you understand that there are some who do not prescribe to the Sea Prince's rule. Not all pirates are our pirates. Well,
Sure.
sometimes they make a bit of a stink and must be dealt with. Hypothetically speaking. Things along those lines. Perhaps some light thievery, some leaning on those who need to be leaned upon.
Sounds like it could be pretty lucrative.
It could be, yes. And from what I understand, you really want to get to this doctor, Mr. Rossi.
Yeah, Julian's probably like still leaning forward slightly, even with Jakob's hand on him.
See? You have much to gain from this deal.
We cut a couple of pirate throats that don't see eye to eye.
Perhaps.
We get an open door to the doctor, and then we're done.
Purely as example. And you aware of his abominations he creates. You will
Julian
still
just
have
kinda,
those.
like looks down at himself and then back up at the pirate.
But you will still have those, of course, and whatever support from the princes who are still heavily invested in his research. But considerably lighter for our lack of involvement.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that could be something that would help us out a great deal. But I do feel like maybe our party's a little bit divided on it. So
Of course.
maybe
I do
we
not
could-
require any immediate response. There's no rush.
Well, if it's all the same to you, I might confer with my compatriots in private for maybe a minute or two.
Of
Just go
course.
below decks, won't leave, nothing like that. And then maybe after a little bit of discussion, we can work out the details over a nice meal. Does that sound all right to you?
Strix. I believe that it can be arranged. Yes.
All right.
Confer. Kind of gestures a hand. His two heavies kind of step from either side of the door behind you guys. Please.
Go shuffle off below decks.
Julian seems to leave the room incredibly hesitantly, looking back over at the pirate captain a couple times before following Bart.
I will leave behind Julian.
Is Gloob coming?
All right, yo, yeah, sorry.
He's
Glue's
just
kind of
sitting there
like
just
looking.
Yeah, he's just kind of looking up at the guy for a while.
Are you not going to accompany your friends?
Yeah. Stop.
Just hear a light kind of as you go below decks.
Yeah. All right, fellas, let's huddle up. I don't know how good their ears might be, so let's talk real softly and kind of get together. Well, I guess the me and Glue will get together. The other two will hunker down.
Julian will take a knee.
um, yeah, I feel like it'd be real good if we could get a location where that doctor's at for you, Julian. But
If he's telling the truth.
right, that's my issue. This stinks real bad.
If this is what it is on the surface, it's an amazing deal and one I'm willing to take.
Right.
But that's a big if.
Almost too good, right? I feel like equal chances. We just get there and they go, "Hey, look, boss, I was able to get you that shark guy." There we are with our dickens in our hands, so to speak. You know?
Obviously, Julian, I'll back you on whatever play you want to do, but there are stipulations with that. Of if the work that they require is, I understand it may not be lawful, and the example we gave, I'm more okay with than going and pressing some weight or whatever they call it on some fisher people that don't deserve the bother.
Right. Him saying putting pressure on someone doesn't necessarily mean that they're the people that need pressure put on them in a bad way, right? Kind of sounds like there's a good chance we could be used for extortion as a means to carry out extortion or whatever.
What if we tell him to give an option to us then?
He doesn't seem like he's willing to.
Well, we make that clear now. He gives us options of jobs, and if we're not comfortable with it, then we're allowed to say no. And it's on his creative freedoms to come up with jobs that fit our guidelines.
I got a third option. Hear me out. We go up, we have a nice dinner, we chat over the next 45 minutes to an hour. And before I leave this room, I message Anders and tell him there's a high-ranking representative of the Sea Princes on our boat. He can do what he can within that hour. And over that hour, maybe we try to find the location of where this doctor's at. Or at least somewhere close where he might be.
I'm not sure I want to do that.
Thought crossed my mind is all. I'm not too keen to work with people who are known slavers, regardless
I'm
if
not
they're...
keen to work with pirates either.
Right.
But part of the point of all of this is to eliminate threats to my family.
That's fair, yeah.
Getting on the most wanted list for the Sea Princes wouldn't be healthy for my wife and child.
Yeah, all right.
If it was just me on the line, I would agree. But it's not.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I don't. As much as I like that option, I think if he is prince or whatever they call him is as powerful as he's making him seem, then his prince withdrawing his support, we may need that to be able to get to the doctor. Because he's making it seem like without his prince's support, we won't get there.
I don't like the idea of working with pirates, but if all they're gonna ask us to do Just kill a couple of their own, deliver a message. Something not too distasteful. I just wish we had a way to assure that ahead of time.
Right. I mean, I feel fairly certain that whatever we're going to be doing is going to be doing something that's going to aid their organization, which is not a very flattering organization, as far as I can tell. Regardless if there's inner conflict or not.
Could we draft a set of terms for the jobs we're willing to accept? Have that be the foundation on which we make this deal?
I mean,
I think that'd be better than nothing.
does that work with pirates? I mean, I feel like he'd just as soon try to sink a boat we're on in the middle of the ocean and clean up some loose ends if there's inner turmoil in the Sea Prince's hierarchy or whatever.
I was thinking more along the lines of not allowing them to hold us on the hook for unsavory tasks for years to come.
I kind of already thought they wanted us dead.
I don't know if they wanted us dead collectively or if they just wanted me. And you were present.
That is what it seemed like with Farron's all.
Well, I kind of mean after setting their boat on fire and making a fool of old Goldeneye Man.
I would assume the part of making this deal would be calling that even, at least with some sect of these Sea Princes.
Right.
We can always come up with some type of, I don't know, if we get double-crossed, then somebody that we know, let's not say names here, sends a letter to one of the princes, one of the opposing princes, about what happened. Because if we go in there and we kill one of their men, I guess the doctor is important to some of them, and then guy upstairs decides, he wants to cut us loose, and one of us are able to get away and get that letter off to the princes, at the very least it'll hurt his bosses, because the other princes will know.
I mean, we don't even know if this guy's working for a boss or not. He could just hate the hell out of the doctor and want him dead.
If we're going off of what he said his prince.
Right, I understand that, but, I mean, maybe he's got an eye on being prince himself. I don't know any of them people or how it works. I imagine you gotta fight to keep it with pirates.
Then, I mean, that gives us...
I mean, all I'm saying is that there's a chance that we can do this job and we could get the doctor and everything be fine and still end up in deeper and hotter water with the princes at the end of the day.
You're not wrong.
True. But there's also the chance that, primarily being businessmen, they're gonna want something beneficial. And then maybe hire us again later or try to. Burning all your bridges doesn't make for a good businessman.
It does when the princes are trying to come over them bridges. I mean, I understand you got folks you need to look after and make sure they stay safe, and I completely agree we don't need to go making any more enemies, but I don't know, part of me seems remiss working for people who murder and slave as they do.
Do all of them?
I have no clue. I mean, I think Julian's probably the one who knows the most about him.
I don't even know that much about him. A lot of stories, a lot of gray area.
My thing is We're worried about they could do that if we accept the deal. They could do all of this if we don't take the deal right now.
Right.
The flip side of that is, we take the deal. Maybe that'll get them off our backs. Sins accounted for, we did them a favor. Or most of them, at least.
We always got the backup plan that if things go awry, I can always send Goldeneye a little sending spell and let him know a couple of trees he might need to bark up in his house affairs. However that works.
Julian just kind of stares off into the corner for a little bit, doesn't really say anything else.
I don't know. This is not what I expected coming back to Saltmarsh. Oh boy.
Yeah. Julian, I told you in the snapping line a while back that I would help you. I'd help you get the doctor.
That's right.
Whatever that takes. My vote's with you.
As is mine.
All right, let's do it. Stay careful.
Shall we draft our terms so that can try and get screwed as little as possible, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like we can.
Checking to say, I'm not sure if Julian has any paper left.
I have some, I think.
Just kind of. Just Bart's like, yeah, sure, let's do it, but it's very obvious that he feels that making a contract with professional criminals is probably going to be about as good as preying on a fart.
How about we don't draft anything? That could just be turned into the wrong people, and I don't mean pirates.
That's fair.
My head's on the chopping block as it is. If Firerain gets back to Saltmarsh and then may have found some forgiveness for what I've done, then this would just seal it shut. So I don't think having our name on paper with any of these people is a good idea.
Good point.
Putting his inkwell and pen back away.
Counterpoint. If Fire Baron gets back, we let him know what's going on.
I do think we need to verbalize some terms.
Yeah.
Takes an ink pen or inkwell and pen back out.
Let's clarify what those are before we get started.
Did you get a new pen? You seem like you really want to use that thing.
I like things to be clear and objective. When it comes to making deals, at least.
All right, well, let's get things straight. What I read a book. They call it the game. We make sure we don't got to kill anyone that's not in the game. I think that would be the primary one.
No involvement.
Innocence. No innocence being harmed in any of these things.
Not just no killing, no hurting,
Right.
no threats, no extortion,
Right.
no involvement.
We're going to be dealing with folks that's going to be bad folks, I guess. Or shit, I mean, I don't know. Maybe they got a place like that island they went to, and we just need to go kill some skeletons in the basement or something. Maybe it is just completely mundane stuff. Or I don't want to say mundane, but without politics of sea princes and breaking the law and all kinds of other crazy doctors.
And it can't, if it is less than legal what we're doing, it can't involve Saltmarsh or Seedon.
Nothing to the detriment of either community, or anything in between.
Nothing involving those not affiliated with the Sea Princes.
Right. Yeah. I think that's a really good way of putting it.
You did the example we gave were pirates that weren't affiliated with the Sea Princes.
Right. What's that other word they use for good pirates?
Yeah, Julian just kind of gives you a look.
Yeah, privateers. How do you know the difference between a pirate and a privateer? They got like a writ or a document or something?
They rob from bad people.
Is that all you got to do?
And give it to better people.
So we're like privateers then.
Yep.
That's kind of cool.
Well, I mean, taking from bad people and giving to other bad people, in this case.
Better. Nothing to do with slaving.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
Yes.
Right. Are you typing these out? It's just like you're typing.
I'm not typing shit. This is on y'all.
Okay.
If y'all want to remember your own stuff, that's on
Julian,
you.
Julian is writing. I have a notepad open with.
Okay.
You guys, you can't see me cross my arms with the camera position.
Oh, it looked like you're doing.
Yeah,
one
it
of
looked like
these.
you're.
No.
No political figures or anything like that.
Yeah, well, I think we covered that with Seaton and Saltmarsh not being involved.
Oh, it could still be a royal or no a different.
We amend that to no, not to the detriment of any of Seaton or any. I get the coalition of Saltmarsh. I don't want to be killing lizard folk or, have to have Merrick's one-armed dad stab me in the water or something.
Who's dad?
Oh, whoops. Oh no, I'm getting.
Oceanus' dad, Myrtilon, is where you got
Holy
it
shit!
from.
Merrick's Decaneth is here. Or did you mean Merrick? You got a lot of M's.
Oh, I think.
And we lost Kent this time. What's going on?
Skype be fucking around. Watch, he's gonna rejoin. He's gonna kick me out.
He says, "Oh my god,
oh my
computer
god.
locked up." Well, unlock it.
Yeah.
I will.
So not to the detriment of the Saltmarsh Coalition. Gotcha.
I'll wait and read off till Mr. Bart gets back.
He's so interested in that monitor he's looking at right now.
He's
It's intense.
I think he's looking up Oceanus' name.
Throw to my dog.
Oh, there he goes.
The arms of the angels.
Is there anything else? I still think having our choice of jobs is our best option here. Allowing ourselves to say no to things that we don't agree with or that aren't in our terms.
I doubt they'll agree to a blanket refusal, but we might be able to agree on a certain number of refusals and a certain number of completed jobs that will relinquish us from the contract.
Go ahead.
I won't be privy to any breaking out of already jailed criminals.
Oh, what was that? Fell asleep for a second. Been a long day.
Man, you really got to stop smoking that stuff.
It's real relaxing. I don't know what to say.
Julian will read out.
All right, so far we have no involvement with non-pirates or involved persons, including no taking money from or strong-arming of fishermen or innocent merchants. No slaves, slaving, or anything associated with. Nothing to the detriment of coastal communities within the area of Saltmarsh, Seaton, or associated communities. 3 refusals within the contract, and 3 completed tasks to appease the contract. How does that sound?
I would say at most 3.
Wait. We're doing 3 jobs for them now? I thought we just had to do 1.
They said that if they said a few if they considered the job to be small enough.
All right.
But I don't like setting it at 3 because that gives them potentially 3 favors instead of 1.
That gives them 2 good favors and then 1 to get us killed.
That is true.
I think they'll be okay with an open refusal of anything that violates these terms. And I don't think we need to agree to any certain amount.
Yeah.
If we don't have a conclusive amount, though, they could keep us on the hook for a long time.
They can do that regardless of what we say.
Yeah, I was about to say, what are they going to do? Send a boat after us and try to kill us out in the ocean?
But if they agree to it, they're much more likely to stick to it.
No, if you agree to it, you're more likely to stick to it. It's not the same.
They're not honorable people.
You abide by your word, not whoever that guy is. As much as I like his jackets, he talks through both.
I'd rather not go ahead and open that forum up for it.
Why don't we set a time limit or time frame for the jobs or job of it needs to get called, this favor needs to get called in by a certain point, otherwise it's all done.
Plenty of pirates and criminals stab people in the back. But just as often, they have a task that needs done. They pay for it, and everyone goes about their business.
All right. I said, Julian, you know more about any of this stuff than I think all the rest of us put together, so...
I think clarifying terms that we can say are conclusive would be safer for us in the long run.
All right.
If they're not trying to screw us from the get-go. That's still my biggest concern.
Yeah. I think it should be all of our biggest concern. I'm still dreading going to that island directly into an ambush and going, all right, buddy, we got your shark man back.
Right.
3 jobs. But the doctor is including one of those jobs because it's just as big as a favor as for him. So 2 jobs extra.
2 completed tasks maximum to appease the contract. Is that what we're saying? Is that what we're agreeing on?
That sounds fine to me. As long as we don't have to deal with any of those unsavory parts, I guess.
And Julian looks nervous as fuck right
now. I mean, I don't particularly like having to do any of this, right? At the end of the day, we're helping an organization that's enslaving people, but I understand we need to stop this doctor from doing what he's doing. And there could be some good that comes from this at the overall. But I'd be remiss to say that I mean, this is definitely not going to be good for what comes of this. I feel certain. We might get the doctor, but I feel like there's probably going to be some pretty bad things that come from this.
We got to pay some price for it.
Right.
We can tell him. I'll tell him if need be. If we have anything to do, if we have anyone that we come across that's slaving, I'll kill him.
All right.
I can agree to that.
Yeah. Well, maybe we should put a clause in there of like any breach of contract will result in uh, harsh repercussions on our part, I guess. I don't know what you say if we go on a slaver ship and start doing not nice things to the crew to free them, or whatever the case may be. For like, hey, that's on you. We told you up front. I don't know.
Any violence against slavers we may come across will not be considered a breach of the contract, and will instigate no ill will to the princes at large.
Yeah. Do we know any of the princes? I mean, I don't even know who these folk are. I don't know how important this guy is. He's just got a real fancy coat on.
That usually means they're pretty important.
Right, but I'm just saying, for all I know, this guy could have a really good tailor, and he's got 4 actors with him that look like they're real big tough guys, and he could just be getting us into a heap of shit.
Well, we'll see what proof he can offer when we speak to him.
Yeah, let's give him a nice meal. Find out a little bit about him, see what he's all about. Maybe get some insight on what this guy's aiming to do. If he's after, I guess princes got crowns too, don't they?
It makes sense.
What's
a little
DM, what's the word on prince crownage and such?
I think
What are
In
the
regards to sea
legends
princes,
say?
y'all don't fucking know.
Their flag is a crown.
There's no legends or lore or anything that
the
Julian
flag
might be
that you
familiar
guys
with.
have seen did have a skull with a crown on it. So
No, there you go.
whether they actually have crowns or not, it's a mystery.
I mean, I feel like it would be pretty fucking shitty if you're like, yeah, I'm the fucking sea prince, but I don't got a crown though.
Yeah, just Julian, what you would know is that they are the holdings of the sea princes, and you know the titular sea princes are the ones that are in charge. Information about them as individuals doesn't really get out.
Before we go anywhere and do anything for these people, we need to have a conversation with Anders and tell him straight up this is what we're doing, why we're doing it, and that we can provide him as much information as possible. Because if it comes out that we're working with these people, you know his attitude towards pirates.
I don't think that conversation is going to go the way you think it is.
It's going to go a lot better than him finding out by himself.
I can still cast that message. I mean, if, you know, if y'all's family weren't in harm's way of this going south and coming back on them, I'd be arguing a lot more for them just getting the town guard ready as we make them a nice meal and they just storm this ship and take care of them. If I could send another message to Goldeneye saying, hey, this guy was trying to, I don't know who he is, but this man was trying to start a coup in your organization. Let someone know he did you a solid, right? I don't know. But I don't want there to be harm coming towards y'all's family. So be that Yakub's wife or Julian's family.
Thank you.
Obviously, I care about the safety of my wife, but I do think she's a capable woman that
Oh, yeah.
she'd be able to defend herself and get herself safe if something was coming her way.
Against the entirety of a pirate country.
I mean, they did find out information about us. Everything, apparently.
He knew about the Oni.
Right, exactly.
I mean, we didn't keep that secret. We didn't keep that quiet.
Right, but it didn't happen last year either. I mean, letters take a little bit of time to get across the ocean, right?
They're here. We've
yeah,
already known
exactly.
they're here.
Exactly.
In Saltmarsh.
My wife makes a mean stew, but if a criminal were to come after her with a knife, there's not much she could do aside from try to run.
And I feel like if we go and we try to find your wife and take her somewhere safe, they're going to find out where, where she's holed up at, right?
I mean, you are able to send messages to people, I assume, pretty quickly.
Yeah, just like they were in the room, yeah.
If we were able to get a message to her, I believe she'd be able to get somewhere safe.
I don't know if it worked. It might not work. I bet they could get people there to do her harm a lot quicker than we could ride a horse or sail a boat.
If we can find a way to make this as trustworthy as possible, I'd rather do their dirty deeds and wash my hands of the situation so we can move on with our lives.
Right. Well, all right. So we try to keep it as clean as possible. And if they don't hold up their side of the bargain, we spill the beans and let pirates kill more pirates. Good for everybody else.
Very well.
All right. Oh, boy. I got squirrels on my stomach fighting over an acorn. I feel like we're about to sign a deal with a demon.
Should we ask where the bathroom is?
We got a bathroom? I was just going over the edge.
Yeah, Julian kind of like points at the nearest window or whatever.
Oh.
Are you going in your barrel?
Oh.
That's weird.
You get like a recoil from Julian. Like, oh,
now we know why his skin is fucking toxic.
There's one of those, like, it's up on the deck. It's a piece of wood, like, that's square with a hole in the middle. It just kind of like flips on and off, just hangs over the edge.
Yeah, I think they had like little lips that were basically like,
there's a hole.
Sit on them
so
and it just goes down this edge. Yeah.
Yep. Just down into the water.
Yep.
It sticks out just far enough that you won't shit on the side of the boat.
yeah, it's the shit-taking plank.
Right. Well, they had them on the side of castles that work the exact same way, but there was always like wind, so there'd be like, like a shadow.
All right, moving along.
I feel like I didn't need to know about this.
Fool.
The
Everybody
most
needs to know
important
about
crenellation in a castle.
That's how people got assassinated like that, man.
In today's episode of Ghosts of Saltmarsh, we are going to get into the finer points of taking a shit in the medieval era.
New rule.
Anyway.
Plumbing in every D&D campaign.
Oh, God. Anywho. What are you guys doing?
Yeah, I guess we'll bring our terms to them and see what happens.
So y'all step up top.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Head on back.
I'll step back up top. You see the dude who had been the son, air quotes, just kind of leaned up against the mast as y'all exit from down below, just kind of like a dagger on one fingertip, just kind of balancing it back and forth. Y'all definitely took your time.
Well, I mean, you did say we were righteous folk.
Oh, yeah.
So, lots of morals that, trying to bend in the right way to.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure that's real tough. Just kind of points towards the door.
Oh, yeah.
Julian didn't like slow down to talk to him or anything, so.
Yeah.
Walk back in.
In we go.
Same three larger figures. Smaller guy stays outside, it looks like. Door shuts. The captain still sat, kind of boots back up on top of the table, kind of chair pushed back out. So, have you reached the court?
We have terms.
Oh, really?
We're professionals.
I'm excited to hear them.
For the sake of legal security, this shall be a verbal agreement. We will have no involvement with non-pirates or involved persons. In the course of the tasks, we will agree to complete for you. No taking of money or strong arming of fishermen or innocent merchants to be included. No slaves, slaving, or anything associated with it. Nothing to the detriment of coastal communities within the area of Saltmarsh, Seaton, or nearby communities. The completion of 2 tasks will appease this contract. And any violence against slavers or actions to liberate slaves will not be considered a breach of contract and will not be considered a grievance against the princes at large.
That's all?
Unless anything needs to be added.
He looks to Bart and Jakob on either side.
I'll look between them and notice, just thinking of like a book, and I'm like, and no weird stuff, you know what I mean? This is more combat type kind of things.
Julian has a very innocent mind and does not know what you're talking about.
So you finish, brings his boots back down to the floor, just leans forward. Understand. You are in no position to offer us terms. This is a deal. You will either take it or you won't. You're going to have to trust pirates. That being said, we will give you no jobs that you find distasteful. Say no if you wish, at your own risk. My prince is only so patient. Perhaps 1, perhaps 2. Who knows? But once you take the deal, you will honor the deal. Understand?
Sure.
I want nothing more than to perform these tasks with your prince in mind and put it behind me forever.
As I said, we know that you're a righteous man. Slavery is dealing in the flesh, not of our concern. Any who choose to do so that aren't dealing with the fighting pits tend to be the lowliest scum within the holdings.
Insight check.
Go ahead, roll an insight check for me.
I usually don't frame it like that, but sorry. That means a lot to Gloob.
No, yeah, go ahead.
It is a natural 18.
Oh shit, nice.
Plus
Bonus.
1. 19.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
The 19 seems to be telling the truth.
So looking over at Julian, Gloob, Julian will kind of give an encouraging nod, like,
See? Might get to smoke some slavers in the process.
Indeed. There are easier ways to make money than peddling in flesh. Fighters, slightly different, but they are skilled and treated well, for the most part. That won't be any of your business, so not to worry. But do the job's given. Unless you feel like pushing your luck. And not wish you to harm random citizens. You'll make use of your skills and your reputation. That is all.
And our reputation, what's that supposed to mean?
Oh, you are beloved. And the more that the tale spread of your doings, the more beloved you'll become, and the wider spread. That is how it works. Heroes fought off the savage beasts of the sea.
Right.
Reputation goes a long way.
All right. Well, I was thinking some pasta, maybe some risotto, halfling delicacy.
That's two pounds.
What's risotto?
That sounds lovely. Please.
Yeah, I'll go about cooking. Oh, let me roll. Here we go. Let's see what we got. Oh, 16 plus 3 plus 8. So 27.
27. Nice. So, Bart, as you set about cooking a quite auspicious meal, is there anything that any conversation anybody's wanting to have while he cooks? Anything you're wanting to ask Captain Artois, or any conversation you'd like to have amongst yourselves?
Who are the sea princes?
What do you
Isn't
mean?
like the cooking area right there in the same room anyway?
Yeah, you're
Okay.
you're over there. You've stepped he's at the eating table that's kind of there. That's where y'all been talking. You step 3 feet to the right of that to where
okay.
all the other stuff is, and you start doing your thing. Like y'all are all still in the same room. And what do you mean by who are the sea princes?
Who are they?
You wish to know their names, their life stories? What is it you wish?
Sure. I don't know.
What they represent?
Yes.
It's a very all-encompassing question.
They seem divided.
Of course, they are pirates.
We always assumed, it was a unified group.
Oh, they are a unified front. But that does not mean they don't each have their own interests, each their own opinions on how we should proceed.
Fishermen don't really make the distinction.
Oh, well, of course. We keep it under wraps.
Well, how's a big organization like that generally keep the peace to stop things like, well, what we're doing from happening? Or is that just kind of the name of the game?
Funnily enough, we have rules.
All right.
Bit looser than the ones that you have here in Keoland, but they do the job. A bit more strict on their enforcement.
I can imagine.
You've met Ferentzal. A lot of what he does.
Yeah, Farenzall. I kept calling him Goldeneye. I couldn't remember his name.
His eye is pretty golden, so understandable.
We're going to get copyrighted.
It is very shiny in color. Not made of real gold, unfortunately. But what can you do? But princes are powerful entities, each controlling a vast proportion of the holdings, power, and wealth, each with their own peculiarities.
Who is your prince?
Oh. Why? Why do you ask? My prince is my prince.
Should we not know the name of our temporary employer?
For the moment? No, it is unnecessary.
What about you then?
What about me? I am Prospero Artois.
From where?
Everywhere, really. The ocean, the holdings, the only places that matter.
I don't think I've ever met your people. I don't know if look, I've had this conversation once. It went very poorly. So I apologize if I come off offensive. Called a oh no, I don't even remember what they're supposed to be called. Not a lizard person, dragon person.
I assure you that I am not a dragon person. Do not worry.
You look kind of like Zentros. I think she said she was a tiefling. Are you a tiefling?
Oh, no. I am something more unique. At least, depending on where you are. Are you familiar with hags?
Yeah,
Blue just stares at him.
quite a few.
As does Julian.
One
I mean,
dabbled
halflings
in
get
my
to be
birth.
pretty old, so there are quite a few hags in Gilbend.
Oh. Those of the magical proclivity. Sometimes they dabble. The birth of children. Or they dangle a deal in front of the parents of a soon to be
Like
child. Offered that.
You cut out a little bit there.
Oh no. One moment. I realize this is considerably less tense moment. That is way too relaxed. But sometimes they dabble in the affairs of the people. So their magic creates something that can one day become one of their own brood. And that is, as you see before you.
Which one are you?
Which one of what am I?
Did you take a deal? Or were you born?
No. I was born this way.
So your parents took a deal?
Possibly. I'm not sure. Maybe they took a deal. Maybe the hag decided to just experiment with my birth. I do not know. But I came out green, blue on some days.
And you don't know the hag?
No. They've not come for me yet.
Do you know Captain One-Eyed Darby?
Bart feels cold clutch his heart.
I'm gonna lean back, if I can, behind like Gloob's line of sight and just shake my head no.
He just kind of tilts his head to one side, thinking for a moment. Is that not the captain in the children's novel?
Well, yeah, it's about him.
Yes. I've heard of it. Why?
I was saying, do you know him?
I cannot say that I do.
Hmm.
As far as I understand, he is fictional.
No. Bard talked to him the other day.
Really? School looks over at Bart as Bart's cooking. Just kind of raises an eyebrow.
Back turn, thumbs up.
Turns back. Well, I wish you the best of luck in meeting Captain Darby. He just looks over at you, Julian.
Julian just kind of looks back.
You know what? I have heard many things about you, the fishy friend.
Oh,
Yes, and none of them to do with the things a good doctor changed about you. Though they do say that you have a winning smile. Indeed.
Well, he's not really lost yet that I've seen, so yeah, I guess you could call it that.
Your weapon just kind of wiggles his hand there. It vanishes, reappears.
He looks down at the regular, like, sailor's saber.
Yeah.
It's right there.
Really? I see a quiver with no arrow, with no bow.
Fuck. It's extra.
Really?
So how to get out of this without lying?
I lent my bow to a sea elf who chose to not return it.
Oh, yes.
You may have heard of him. He fought in the recent conflict. Oceanus.
Oh, and yet you hold on to the quiver still. You've done battle with the blade this whole time. I've also heard that you summon areas of darkness, unpierceable by human sight. Fascinating.
Like you said, our reputation precedes us, and storytellers tend to lengthen those tales for entertainment value.
Oh, I see. Well, it is too bad. I was hoping to find someone I relate to. As he just kind of holds his right hand out and just kind of twitches it, and a sound like, the sound that glaciers make when they break, that loud, almost a gunshot crack. Something along that line, but slightly quieter, perhaps accompanied by a like quick spray of ice cold seawater. And where once his hand was empty, a blade now rests. Oddly plain for what you would expect looking at the rest of his garb. Just plain, not silver, but plain steel circle for a pommel thing. Slight covering over the top, seeming to cover like what would be the knuckles. Also similarly plain steel with a leather wrapped wooden handle coming up to a cross guard that just a straight bar across the top, and the blade coming up about not quite half a foot before ending and continuing in blue white ice, coming all the way up into to a point seeming to replace where the blade had once been, or perhaps covering it. You're not quite sure. He just kind of holds it in one hand.
That is quite the trick.
Oh, I know. I was so looking forward to meet another who could do the same. A rare gift I have found.
How many people did you say were in the room?
Currently, the entire party, himself and his 3 heavies.
The 3 heavies?
Mm-hmm.
The other dude's outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do the same thing. Mine, I don't even gotta hold it though, so.
Oh. Even more impressive. He just kind of sticks the sword kind of point down into the deck and just kind of like spins it by the pommel. Interesting. That's too bad. Made me even more excited to see you work.
Are you gonna
Let's
be
just focus on dinner, you know. Empty stomach makes conversation difficult.
Very true.
And he will go back to being quiet.
I'm gonna try and make small talk with this guy while I'm cooking.
Sure.
So, you ever had risotto before? What type of dishes you usually have?
Oh, depends when I'm on the sea. Things that are more hardy, easier to store. But when I'm on land, I have had this risotto as well as with some chicken and other vegetables. Like a light salad, a nice glass of wine at times. But I'm a man of means. I indulge when I can.
All right. Well, what would you say is your home food? Your soul food? Where you come from? I don't know where that might be, but
quite sure. I am particularly fond, as plain as it is of just a nice grilled salmon. Comforting, I find. Return to what you know.
Yeah, fair enough. Know what to cook next time you come to visit us.
I look forward to it. Just kind of flips the sword up and it vanishes once more. Let us eat.
Yeah.
Serve food.
Yeah, serve food.
Meal is had.
Yeah.
His minions all just kind of cycle through since it is a relatively small table. It's kind of eating. Dude comes in from the outside after kind of being summoned. He's like, oh, fantastic. Yeah, I'll take some. Kind of steps back out afterwards. But unless there's anything else you guys would particularly wish to discuss, the meal will proceed. Various small talk, which I'm sure is incredibly uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah. Julian is actively avoiding as much conversation as possible.
Gloob is asking this guy every question in the book. What?
Like what?
We have the two sides.
What? Have you always been a part of Sea Princess?
Time. Well, for the vast majority of my career. For the part of it that became prosperous.
But you weren't like born into it or anything.
No.
Who brought you in?
It was before I was the captain of my own ship. Of course, I served another. He brought me on. He thought I looked odd, and I was light on my feet. Good for swinging around in the rigging. So, I worked for him for quite a while. Eventually, he grew old. Slow. He died. Dangerous occupation we have. But I took over. Did my own thing for a good long while. But ran afoul of some of the princes in their work. My options were work for them or not work anymore in a more permanent sense. I chose to work, proved myself valuable, have risen to my station. I occupy it today.
Where's your ship then?
Out and about. Where it won't be recognized by the wrong people.
So Farenzal has a different prince?
Indeed.
So you and Farenzal are the same rank, though?
Matter of perspective, really. We are both captains of our ships. We both answer directly to our prince, but I do work that requires finesse. I make deals. I seek out persons of interest. Farenzal is a butcher. He kills. He fights. That's all he could really do.
Julian's stuffing his face, and he's just like,
well, your company is definitely preferable. So far, at least.
You can only blame him so much. Wasn't much left after he finally got freed from the pits. Besides the fighting, anyway.
Your prince. Is he slave?
Doesn't make enough money. Not worth it. Deals in Politics. Strangely enough. Secrets. Things people wish to know, things people don't wish other people to know. And doing some honest, as far as we go, merchant work. Some smuggling. Goods. The like.
Say if I wanted to find someone that contracted someone, one of your people.
What do you mean?
Well, interests may align, they may not. So this may cause nothing. But if I believe one of your people contracted someone in Seaton to do some work for them on, is it Abbey Isle or Isle of Abbey? Abbey Isle.
Yeah, Isle of the Abbey. Yeah,
Isle of the Abbey.
Abbey Isle, whichever. It's not a very creative name.
There's an Isle of the Abbey out there. I believe it was one of yours, at least. If I wanted to find that person, how would we go about doing that? For in that line of work specifically, slaving.
Slave? Oh, well, there are many people who slave. In what kind of slaving? What were they doing? Were they of the company variety, or manual labor, fighters? What?
Sacrificial victims.
Religious. Kind of wrinkles his nose a little bit. We do not deal in such. It is. Zealots are difficult to control.
Your people got into a fight with them not too long ago.
Really?
So you had some dealing with them.
I didn't hear about it.
Well, say we had some free time and wanted to try and contact you. Who's the best birdie to let know?
Well, here probably not so much, as there's a increase in the search for our contacts here in Saltmarsh. I have discovered. I wonder why that could be. Alas, there are those in Seaton easily enough that could be contacted.
Maybe we can send a letter to them or something like that.
You could, perhaps.
All right.
Of course, I ask that you maintain his anonymity. Of paramount importance.
I mean, I imagine it wouldn't be too hard to figure out who it was if he goes missing tomorrow.
Indeed.
In a few days.
Yes, that would be terribly, terribly sad for our deal to end in betrayal. So, alas, I must be off unless there are any other questions that you all have.
Yeah, where's this place that the doctor's at so it can take care of this whole mess and get on with the jobs?
It's in a remote area of the ocean. Found a nice little outcropping that extends pretty far down into the ocean. It spreads out. The exact location of which we'll of course give you when we take you there.
Oh, you'll be giving us a ride. All right.
Of course. Well, yeah, as I said, it's exchange, or at least directing you. But this will take some time to arrange. So, we will let you know when it is done.
All right.
In the meantime, you'll know how to contact me if you need to. And we will reach out if we need to do the same. And of course, I almost forgot. As he's kind of got up and his guys are all shuffling toward, are all kind of moving towards the door. My memory goes sometimes. I do believe that Ferenzel's last orders were to find some leverage. Just kind of nods towards you, Julian. Until we speak again. Turns around.
He said, whose last orders?
Ferenzel's. Turns and they're exiting the room.
All right.
Julian is probably pushing his way out of the room physically.
Are you like following Artois or?
Yes.
What do you mean, find leverage?
Find leverage? What do you mean?
Those were the last orders given to Ferenzel?
As far as I understand.
Do you know when these orders were sent?
It's been a little bit. Short gap of time that it took him to return and report his failure.
I see.
Julian's running.
Right. Yep.
You probably saw him like run the plank back to the shore. If anyone wishes to pursue.
I will pursue him.
Yeah, I mean, Gloob's running right beside him. I'll catch up in a couple of rounds. What are we doing?
One sec. Okay, I apparently never named the village where he and his wife live. Oh, Whitecrest. Julian is running to the stables to get a horse.
Okay.
Is it faster to go by horse or by boat?
Julian's village was a bit of ways from Saltmarsh. But I mean, he was a fisherman. It's on the water. Kind of a toss-up, probably.
Julian.
I think I put down exactly how far it was, and I can't remember where.
Julian, what exactly is your plan?
He probably does not answer you. He is physically sprinting to a stable.
I figure once you get to the stable, you're...
Was there staff there, Dungeon Master?
Are you looking for like somewhere to purchase, or are you running to the stable of the snapping line where y'all's animals are located?
I don't think Julian had a horse anyway. So probably the first stable he sees.
I mean, it's the middle of the day. A little longer now that y'all have eaten. So yeah, the first one you probably run into is like a little dingy, like personal stable, almost of some establishment.
Table hand or owner, someone.
Oh yeah, what?
How much for a horse?
Sneepy.
Any horse.
Sleepy, what? He's not for sale. He's all horses.
How much for one?
Still counting.
Just kind of watching how much money you counting out.
He's got like 20 out and stops, like looking at him.
Well, how much?
Wait one. I'm gonna say these are like draft horses.
This is not the actions of a man who's thinking things through right now, okay?
Julian, hold on.
He's kind of sitting there.
What?
He looks like he's trying to think really hard and count.
I have to get to Whitecrest.
He says, looking at Jakob.
Whatever's going on, you aren't going to do it alone.
We have to go now.
Then we'll find you a horse, and we'll come with you.
He can buy one here. Go get Cecil.
These aren't the type of horses that he's looking for. With respect, these look like very good horses for
good working horses.
Work that exactly, but they're not fast. They're not running horses.
No.
And that's what this man's looking for. He's in a hurry to do something.
Okay.
So we're sorry to bother you.
We need to go now. You have horses. We have one or two.
I have one horse.
But with two horses, right?
Right.
Because we bought a horse before I'm flicking the camera off. I'm so sorry. We bought a horse to get to the thing. So we have at least two horses. So, all right. We have horses. Let's go. Let's go to the snapping line.
Julian also have a donkey.
Fuck the donkey.
Julian is sprinting outright to the snapping line.
Oh, no, we don't. I gave Daisy away, remember? For someone who would treat him well.
Oh, I didn't realize you gave Daisy away.
Yeah,
Cecil's still at the...
I thought you stabled them. Stabled her again.
I could be wrong.
Not jotted that down. I can't recall. If you intended to, it's fine.
Right.
Either you did and I forgot, or you intended to and you forgot. I don't care either way.
Yeah,
Daisy
it's one of
has
those.
been given away. She's eating grass somewhere.
In a farm in upstate New York.
Regardless, Daisy couldn't run to a different city.
Yeah. So y'all leaving Bart behind slowly but surely.
I am not leaving at all.
Oh,
I
are you still at the boat?
Yeah.
You're just kind of hanging out over there, like, oh, I wonder where they're going.
We need to go.
Well, I kind of assumed what was happening. I just didn't think that my tiny legs would get there at any rate, and that someone's gonna come and pick me up before they leave. And so I'm going to, turn things off in the boat and then make sure it doesn't burn down while we're gone, and do a couple of responsible things real quick, get some extra food for however this like a 1 or 2 day journey.
How far away was Seaton?
Seaton is, oh good gracious, Seaton is probably not, like, just depending on, so just a regular travel pace, probably close to a week.
Oh shit.
Probably a little under. I say under. Probably somewhere in like 4 to 5 days of like a regular travel pace. If you're moving quicker than that, probably closer to like 2.5 or 3.
I thought you lived in Saltmarsh. What?
No, he lives in Whitecrest, which is a day or two north of Saltmarsh. Or not north, but the way the map was oriented when presented to me, north.
He lives between Saltmarsh and Seaton.
Gotcha. So we're like a hard day's ride.
Ish. Also, I'm trying to get Soundtail back up.
I got it going. It kept crashing.
Itself.
Yeah,
okay.
I got it going.
I'll just leave it then. You do your thing.
Here, I've turned on some tense music.
That works.
But here, I'll give a code for anybody
so,
that wants to.
Y'all are easily enough able to haul ass over to the stables, retrieve your mounts that have been paid for long periods of time in one go. Are y'all just mounting up and leaving now?
Julian is.
We need to get Bart before we go.
You go get him. I'll get started.
No. We need to go together, Julian. You don't know what's there.
Yak just grabbing the horse's tail, like, no.
You don't know what's there, and going in by yourself, and the 5 minutes it's gonna take isn't gonna make a difference. It's already been.
Fine, but we need to hurry.
And he's going
All
to
right,
start beelining, like, probably getting people cursing at him. It's just right down the road.
All right, and are you heading back to pick up Bart?
Yes.
Okay. Easily enough, y'all get both the horses, y'all hauling people up on them because they're faster than you guys. back to the boat. People like shoving people out of the way. A lot of people going, "Hey, what the fuck?" You got guards like, "What are you doing?" Just ignoring them as you go clambering down back towards the docks. Bart, you hear presumably horse hooves pounding down the pier. Yeah, down the dock. Yeah.
Followed by Bart!
Yeah, I'll come out with a few extra things in my pack and have my armor ready to go.
Frantically pointing at
yeah. I'll give a jog down there and hop on his horse, going, all right, it's gonna be a journey.
It is probably not even entirely seated before Julian starts to take off again.
Before we go too far, I worked with horses in Seaton, so I feel like I would know the pace that, like, obviously horses can't go to gallop for a full day. That would kill them.
Yeah, you basically you know for if you push them for more than like an hour or so, that they, mechanically speaking, they and yourselves will be risking levels of exhaustion because riding a horse is physically taxing.
At this time, Julian is probably riding at like horse killing pace.
I will ride to catch up to him. Julian, while yelling, whatever's going on, if we keep this up for too long, these horses are going to die, and it's going to take too long to get wherever you're trying to go.
We have to get to her.
He's still just booking it.
We can't stay this fast for too long.
You are watching a grown fish man cry while riding down the highway.
All night long.
I will yell for Bart to talk some sense into him, and then try to keep up.
Who's on whose horse? Who's seated with whom?
Like Julian and Bart.
Yeah, Julian and Bart. How long have we been going?
I'd say at this point, y'all minutes. Y'all have
minutes.
torn out of town past guards that were like guarding the entrance that are kind of like yelling as y'all have gone tearing past, and y'all have started making it down that main road that heading towards Seaton. But it's only been a few minutes so far.
All right. Oh yeah, I mean, I'll ask Julian. All right, son, what's your plan? I mean, I know we gotta get there. You didn't get your letter back.
Don't really got one.
I mean, we're gonna have to water these horses at some point along the line. They're gonna fall over dead before we get there. So, you got a hole in mind between here and Seaton before sundown? Because it's gonna be a lot longer running.
Deed does not answer.
Didn't we say, so everybody's here, because I feel like we're on several different pages here. We said it is a hard day's ride, right, to get to where Julian's family is.
Yep. Yeah, like booking it, it's a day.
Right. So it'll be like con saving throws for us at this point, yes. But like run the horses into the dirt. Like,
I'm not gonna kill Cecil to
save Julian's family.
Jesus Christ.
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to kill the horses on a ride that takes a full day to get there.
I will say,
cannot run as fast as horses.
Yeah, you guys would be. You guys would. It's a little afternoon. You guys met with him. You had your conversation with him. You had your conversation below decks. You had your time that you cooked. You had your time that you ate, which was tense, but he wasn't rushing. So I mean, y'all are closing on like early, like mid afternoon, like mid to late afternoon, like 3-ish p.m. I will say that if you guys try to ride without stopping, you'll be risking multiple levels. There'll be multiple con saves being made for levels of exhaustion. You'll also just be accruing a level of exhaustion because you guys will be riding through the night if you go without stopping. So you guys will be guaranteed at least taking 1 level of exhaustion for not sleeping. Gloob, you'll probably be taking 2 because
I
dry.
can't. Yeah, but I can't see us stopping. Not for something like this. This doesn't make any sense for us to even consider camping when we're being told that Julian's family's life is in danger. So Glue would forego sleep and the hard ride to begin with. Like maybe we can't
had anything explained to me of what's going on besides all I heard was leverage.
Right. Well, did Julian not say that we have to get to his family?
Nope.
He said
it's
her.
Just been a lot of panic. Her, which I can make an assumption with her, but it's just been a lot of panic.
Mr. Dungeon Master,
Mm-hmm.
Are there any other villages or communities or farmhouses between here and there?
I mean, absolutely, like here and there.
Once it seems like it's getting to the point where the horses and us are going to have to start making con saves, I mean, we'll still have to make con saves, but he'll be on the lookout for fresh horses. Like, just hip-hop to the next ones.
As we continue into this event, that's where we're going to go ahead and take our break, since it is about 2 minutes till 9.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. That snuck up on me.
So
Right.
we'll be right back. Just take a quick bio, get food, refresh drinks, etc., etc. But we'll be right back. So don't go anywhere as we continue. Whatever the fuck is going on, you'll have to wait. You'll have to stick around and see.
Alright.
And go. Hello, everybody. It is us once again here in the Hard Knock Dice with this Ghost Saltmarsh champagne. I hope y'all are having a good evening. I know we are.
Mm-hmm.
I think everybody's having a wild and crazy time. Very, very relaxed, very chill, no stress whatsoever. That being said, first half of this session.
I just realized, like, did I keep enhanced ability prepared after helping Yak about with his whittling? I did not.
I will say, fortunately, Enhanced Ability doesn't work with saves, so wouldn't matter one way or the other.
There you go. That's right.
That being said, first half of this session, our heroes met with Captain Prospero Artois, who's it turns out, a representative of the Sea Princess, and came to offer them a deal that his prince and any of his prince's allies would withdraw their support and defense from one of interest doctor to the party. The man who kidnapped and experimented on Julian, turning him into the shark man that he is now. In return, the party would do jobs that would repay the Sea Princess for their favor, reimburse them for losing an investment to become an investment themselves. The party had some discussions, tried to bring some terms to the table, which Captain Artois objected to. The concept of them bringing terms, simply offering them that they would not do things that they wouldn't be asked to do things that they would hate to do. They could say no to jobs, but that was a risk in and of itself, as saying no would only go so far. It would only work until his prince's patience had been worn out. They then proceeded to have a meal. Some questions were asked of Captain Artois about where he came from and some other bits and bobs before he and his group made their exit. As he did so, as a show of good faith, letting Julian know that last he had heard, Farenzal had orders to find some leverage against him. Julian immediately leapt into a bit of a panic, himself and his companions tearing off on their horses, making for his hometown of Whitecrest. And that is where we're going to pick up with our companions, as you guys are hauling absolute ass, tearing ass down this dirt road. This is not, they don't really have paved roads all that much. And as we discussed over the break, how we were going to do this is going to be an 8-hour journey. Every 2 hours, you'll be making checks, Constitution saving throws for yourself and your horses to avoid being exhausted. So, you guys are pounding out of the gate, getting your way just a little bit outside of Saltmarsh itself, and I'm going to go ahead and get those first round of Constitution saving throws.
That's a good roll. 19.
19, pass.
30-20.
Pass.
13 for me and 17 for the horse.
Okay, barely pass and a pass.
I'm a little nervous to roll this. Me and the horse both have the same bonus.
Nice.
I get an 11.
You take 1 level of exhaustion.
The horse got a 17.
Horse does not take a level of exhaustion. So, Julian, go ahead and make sure you mark down that first level of exhaustion as you guys spend your first 2 hours just tearing ass out of there. You're pounding along and along. The sun is just slowly starting to get lower on the horizons. It's now kind of closing into the into the late afternoon, early evening, or let's say it's actually more mid to late afternoon. As you guys continue moving up and out over the hills that kind of begin to crest up, you kind of still see the ocean off to your right in the distance. Go ahead and give me another set of Constitution saving throws. 15 does still pass. Oof. The DC is going to be going up the longer you guys ride, so everybody's aware.
Dirty 20 for the horse and natural 20 for me.
Nice.
Both pass. Very nice.
With a bit of a flip-flop, Julian got an 18. His horse got a 5.
Oof.
Horse takes 1 level of exhaustion.
Gloob also got a 5.
Gloob also takes a level of exhaustion. So make sure you're keeping track of that for the horses. So this ride's starting to wear pretty heavily on some of you. Not quite getting you too far deep, but definitely you guys, if you're looking around, unless anybody's actively trying to conceal it, is looking like it is starting to wear on at least Julian Gloob and the horse that Julian and Bart are on. As we come in to our third check, Julian, you're familiar with this path. Everything is flashing back fast. You were tearing across the landscape faster than you probably ever made this journey before, but it is familiar. You are on familiar road. You've been to and from this exact road many times, sometimes in your youth, sometimes when you were older on and making the trip by yourself or with what few men you had as crew. Right, go ahead and make your third Constitution saving throw.
Oh, fuck yeah. 22.
Pass.
18 oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
18 for the horse, and I think that's a 21 for me.
Does pass.
Yeah. Dirty 20 for Julian, and a 13 for the horse.
Second level of exhaustion for the horse.
17.
17. Fortunately, just fails. Second level of exhaustion. So, and I believe second level of exhaustion is just attack rolls. And
Speed halved.
Speed is halved at 2 as well.
At
It's
3.
just speed halved. I'm looking at D&D Beyond. It says 1 is disadvantage
Oh yeah,
on ability.
3 is
Disadvantage on attacks.
Yeah. So, all right. I don't know why I get those mixed up. So as you guys get into this getting into the latter half, it is now well into the evening. The sun is sinking. So what did we say? Y'all left sometime around 3 or 4, so 5, 7. At the end of these 2 hours, it is 9 o'clock. It is dark out.
I can cast a light to help. I mean, I know Julian's got dark vision.
Yeah, but putting aside, horses don't, from what I understand. So definitely helping. However, at the end of these 2 hours, Julian's horse begins to lag behind significantly.
Did we come across any stables or farmsteads or anything like that?
Roll a perception check for me.
It'll be a nat 20.
I'm sorry, because of the pace y'all are rolling at, roll at a disadvantage for me. I'm sorry.
Oh. Can I assist him so that a nat 20 stands?
I'll say under the current circumstances, no.
Oh, shit. Worth the shot.
All right. Where the fuck? There it is. All right, that'll be a 15.
15? I mean, you definitely see some homesteads as you go by. Whether or not they have horses at them, you would have to go check. You would have to go closer to check. You would have to divert from your course.
But do the homesteads have clear stables at all? Like a large, stable building at all?
Probably have barns. Some of the ones you're passing have barns. You know, they could have horses in them. Maybe they just have cows. But you don't see any horses themselves.
Moving very slow, so it's worth a look.
Okay, so as you guys peel back from your speed as Julian's slowing, you just taking off towards going towards the farm.
Just the barn. Yeah.
Okay. So you're just going up. At this point, like I said, it is dark. There are not very many lights on. There's some general, maybe some like a lantern that was left on within the house. But you only are able to see this because of your dark vision, like to even be able to make out this homestead from the distance that you did. Are you sneaking up, or what are you doing?
No, we are running up to the barn.
You're just going up to the barn? Okay.
Do we pass nearby the house whenever he's going to the barn?
I'd say relatively close by. I'd say they're kind of equidistant from.
Can I do a very nimble halfling evacuate to try and get to the house?
You can certainly try.
I am not nimble at all. I'm probably going to
just kind of flop off the horse.
Whoa, shit. Okay, well, I rolled a 15 plus 2, 17. Just a
bit of a stumble, but you kind of you right yourself and you stay on both feet.
Yeah, I'm gonna just kind of run up to this house and just start hammering on the door.
Okay, so after a moment, you do hear some movement around inside. While you're doing that, Julian, you've come up to the barn by now. What are you doing?
Opening the doors. If they're locked, tearing them off with Eldritch Blast.
Shit.
I mean, they were barred.
Not anymore, they're not.
Julian has blasted a hole in this door. You probably just blast off where the bar is and just doors wide open. You now are hearing frightened animal noises from there within.
I look for horses.
Look for horses. Okay, you're stepping into. You probably hear Bart as you're banging on this door, and you start to hear movement from inside. He rips open the door with Eldritch Blast.
I'm probably trying to get my coin person as he's like hammering anyway, and then kind of have as he's apparently ripping the fucking barn apart. You're like, okay, well that's gonna be more, kind of mentally knowing that's gonna be more expensive. Okay.
As the door opens up, you saw like a light come on, like the light maybe like what was the lone lantern inside kind of being brought forward, and it opens the door, and it is just a kind of like a little past middle-aged, looks like half orc. It's just kind of what?
I'm sorry.
What the hell are you doing? What are you doing to my barn?
I'm so sorry that all this is happening. My friend here, his wife is in some dire straits, and we have to get to her immediately. I'm here. I'm trying to pay for any damages. He's I can't really stop him. He's going to take one of your horses, but he's going to leave this horse here. I don't know if it's any good or not, but here's 100 gold. I'm so sorry.
Roll persuasion check with advantage for me real quick, because that's a lot of money.
15 and a 16. I think it's not the best for me. Persuasion. Oh, it's +5, so 21.
Okay, with the 21, she's got what do you? I mean, I put there's a hole in my door.
I'm so sorry. His wife could be in grave danger right now.
He mostly just looks very bewildered.
Did Julian see any doors? Or any doors? Any horses?
Yeah. with a 98 on the percentile dice.
It's all goats.
You do see a couple of horses.
I was like, give me that gold.
Which are both ironically riding horses.
Oh, well, whichever the biggest and strongest looking riding horses out of the two will be saddling it up, and let's go.
While all of this is happening, pretty much like from the second that Julian went off and Bart went up to the door, I would hop off of Cecil after finding him like a patch of grass or something, and then try to pour some water into my hand to let him, if there's no water around.
Thirsty horse.
Yeah, I know, boy. It's a lot, but
kind of like his withers are just like heaving. He's got like foam kind of flecking around at his lips. I'm trying to think of all the descriptions I've ever heard of tired horses, and just throwing it out there. Like,
we're almost done. His wife's in danger. You know, if Brandy was in danger, you wouldn't want to stop either.
All right. So
Julian walks out with both horses, I guess.
Should you bring it?
Both horses? Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, he was preparing for both horses to get refreshed.
I will, if we are leaving Cecil, then I will go to the door and pay.
You still have a bewildered half-orc, just like very confused.
I'm gonna give you another. I'm gonna give you 150 gold.
Oh.
For the horse that.
All right.
Our man's taken. There's gonna be two of them, and hold up, Bart. And I'm gonna pay you to hold on to my horse Cecil until I come back, and I will give you your horse back.
Coming back soon?
Julian is actively like, come on!
We're coming back soon. You can use Cecil's a good horse. He'll do what you say. He doesn't bite too much, and he only kicks when you get on his bad side.
Well,
Bart!
I want my horses back. You understand?
I understand.
Strange. See a frog? Leaning, kind of raising his lantern up.
You got a wagon to put on here? A wagon I can just sit in?
Julian is gonna come screeching up on the horse and use his medallion on the guy.
Oh, okay. Commoner's saving throw is.
So this half-orc just this old half-orc just legitimately get 250 gold for two horses?
Correct. I mean, to be fair, a riding horse are 75 gold apiece, so.
Oh, okay.
He fails, by the way. He just also just eyes wide as he just stumbles back into the house, just kind of like, do you hear him tripping over furniture and shit inside?
So is that a deal?
Bart, get on! Slap in the back.
Hear sounds of fear from inside the house, and probably the sounds of other people starting to wake up inside.
Yeah, it takes a few minutes to unsaddle two full horses and put saddles on. Like, we're going to be out of commission for like 5 or 10 minutes. That shit is a little bit of a lengthy task.
Well, that's what I thought. Like, that was the whole thing with him walking his horse over and getting it water and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, we're just gonna for ease of things this has been doing. You made like small talk with the bewildered half-orc while they were doing this, and then Jakob came up. So you'll now have 2 more horses as you set back off for your final 2 hours.
And we're off.
And in the dark, y'all are hitting potholes. It's a lot of near misses, but thankfully, since your horses are fresh, they're doing a little better in the dark.
Before we go, I will say to Cecil as I'm tying him up, be good for him. I'll be back, I promise. I just need to make sure that you're all right.
All right.
Sorry.
He horse pants at you in response. So, as you guys go ever closer to your goal, like one more round of Constitution saving throws from everybody.
Let's go.
Including for 2 horses that are not exhausted.
Not go. That's 15 total for me.
Oh, shit. That's another nat 20.
So, that's the level of exhaustion for Bart. Pass for Julian.
That's 2 nat 20s.
It's not a 19.
2 nat 20s?
I squint real hard. It doesn't turn into a 19, right?
What was for the horse, Julian?
An 8.
That horse has level of exhaustion. 2 nat 20s are passes. And what was that for for Gloob?
12.
12. 3rd level of exhaustion, Gloob.
I'm here for it.
All right. So, as you guys finish the last 2 hours of your journey, coming in, having stopped and had to take a little time to swap over those horses, coming in at almost midnight. As you come tearing up to a familiar vista, Julian, of a relatively small, but not a, at least a couple families live in this hamlet. And you are intimately familiar. It is night. There is nobody out and about. You similar to the farm where you stopped. It looks like maybe there's some very small lights that have been left on just in case you have to get up in the middle of the night, burning like minimal amounts of oil. What do you do? Now tearing up, tired.
Yeah, I'll ask Julian which one it is, and whenever we approach, if I'm assuming our horses are sticking pretty close together, I will go ahead, even though I doubt that there's just going to be pirates hanging out at his home, but just in case he's, emboldening bond and bless on my homies as we're closing the distance.
So for the next minute, at least y'all have both. I'm assuming you're casting that as you guys are getting up on what's his house. All right.
Like 30 feet away from his house. Like when he starts to slow his horse down would be when I cast those, essentially.
Okay, those get cast on you guys. You're pulling up to your house, Julian.
As
no lights.
Come screeching up, manifesting the bow as he's running up.
Okay.
He will attempt to jump off of a moving horse.
With levels of exhaustion, so it's at disadvantage.
Oh yeah. Oh, and this is super
2d4 though.
You get add 2d4 to or 1d4 to one of these as it's as a ability.
I always forget that.
Yep. I am now very intimately familiar with that because of this campaign.
Sorry. Not really.
That's fun.
Okay. It was a 10 on the dice at disadvantage, although it was a 10 and an 18, so that would have been really cool. Mm-hmm. You said, was this acrobatics or athletics?
This would be acrobatics. To not bust your ass.
A 16 with a 4 on that blessed die.
Okay. So with the 16, you're tired, but you're able to keep yourself upright. Kind of a couple stumbling footsteps, but you're sure on your feet as you're moving towards the house.
He is screaming his wife and his son's name. For the sake of everyone here, I will try not to shout anymore.
It's very kind of you.
Julian certainly is.
What are your wife's and your son's name?
Question.
What's up?
What are your wife's and your son's name?
Abby and Taro.
He asked so that he can know what to put in the. I don't know. I was trying to spin that in like some malicious way, but I'm struggling.
No, it is Simone and Taro. I was reading my brother's wife's name.
Oh, what are you implying there, Julian?
It implied that I looked at the wrong paragraph in my lore document.
You don't just have a family tree just stuck up somewhere.
Wait, what's your wife's name?
Simone.
Oh, okay. I had it in my notes that Abby and Abari were your wife and brother. It's weird.
Cody fucked up. That's what that means.
I did fuck up.
Yep. All right. So as you're coming up, you're hearing no response. You don't see any light. You don't see any movement from within, Julian. However, these aren't it. Oh, as are you just standing outside screaming?
No. He was. So I was reading something because I screwed myself up. I was like, oh my god, Abby or Simone, what have I done? Yeah, no. He comes up, bursts through the door.
Door's locked. Unless you just didn't have locks on your door, which I don't know why you wouldn't.
Not anymore. It's not.
Just fucking Eldritch Blast your door.
Yep.
Just rips the door off its hinges with an Eldritch Blast or a couple Eldritch Blasts. Then I'll say y'all probably from outside, as this is going on, I'll say, Bart, you have a high enough passive perception. Like, you kind of notice what is like as he's bursting up and he's been yelling since he got off there. Looks like you're starting to see slight movement in some of the other houses. You're bursting on in, Julian. You're in. It's familiar. This is your house. What are you looking for?
His family. Or any evidence.
You still hear no movement. You see no light. Roll an investigation check for me as you just start tossing your own home.
Yeah.
Glue will go in there and help him. I'm not going to let him go into the dark house alone.
Okay.
I'll also go in there, but I will say, Julian, hadn't you said that your family was at your brother's estate, or?
I said they might be.
All right, is it close?
Is this even your is this even your house anymore? I mean, did they move?
Find out. It's 22 on that investigation check. I still get to roll one of the d4s for that, right?
I'll say enough time has passed. Sure. Yes.
Okay. 22 then.
So, with Gloom's assistance making that a straight roll, you're tearing through your own home, and it does appear to be that your family was still living here. Familiar cutlery and plates, like you recognize, like, oh, I like where this got set on the fire for too long. I see that, like, the little bits that, like, oh yeah, no, this is still my house, but there's nobody there. It's empty.
Any sign of a struggle, or does it just look like they left?
It just looks empty. It doesn't. There's no signs of struggle, no marks on any of the walls, no dried blood anywhere. I say, like, tearing through, like, dressers or whatever. You couldn't be quite sure. It's been years, but they don't look full. It could possibly be missing clothes.
I'm gonna check the kitchen.
Yeah, once it becomes clear that, like, they are not in the building and there's no, like, blood-stained slashes on the walls or knocked over furniture or anything, Julian will run outside and beat on the nearest neighbor's door.
That by the time you get out there are people moving around. There's a older gentleman who's little. I say older gentleman, but he's probably like middle-aged when you last saw him. He's getting a little farther into the later age of middle age. He's come out. He's got like a pitchfork, and he's got like a younger man standing behind him who has like a club and like a lantern held up from him, and you can see more figures starting. Who are you people?
Where's Simone? Where's Taro?
Who the fuck are you?
Julian Arosi, where is my wife?
You ain't look like no Julian I ever seen. Why are you breaking them people's house?
We're gonna use another usage of the coin.
God damn it. I just imagine fucking Julian in a suit coming out with one of the fucking Men in Black memory eraser things.
We weren't here.
What's your spell save DC?
15, but don't quote me yet. Yeah, 15.
15? One of them passes, shockingly enough. But older man stands his ground. The younger man starting to back up a few paces. Boy, go get the rest. Go on. He like points over to one of the neighbors' houses. He turns back to face you guys, just kind of like rotating with his pitchfork, kind of keeping a distance between you. Ain't got nothing of value in there. Y'all go on somewhere.
I know there's not. It's my house. Where's my wife?
More people. Roll a persuasion check at disadvantage. Like, I guess super disadvantage because you already have disadvantage. But...
I was saying that I was checking the kitchen. I was trying to see if there are any plates that are set to be drying or if everything's perfectly put away.
Roll an investigation check for me.
Sure. That's +1, I think. Yeah, 16 total.
16 with 16. You look around, and looks like everything was more or less put away. It doesn't look like anything was left in transition of any kind.
Okay.
As the guy is saying all that, we're not here to hurt anybody. We just want to make sure she's all right.
Y'all just ripped that. You just broke into that house.
That's
Yeah,
that man's wife.
We're not letting you. It's like it's flustered and like he didn't get hit with a magical fear, but there are more of you than there are him, and y'all are heavily armed. And he's backing up kind of towards where it looks like the few neighbors are, and there are more figures that are starting to move closer. What was that persuasion check, Julian?
It was a 15.
15? Julian Roshi's been gone for years. He's probably dead.
I was.
And we'll like reveal his scar.
But I'm back, and I want my wife.
Ask him a question.
Is more people are starting to come up. It looks like a mixture of men and women, pitchforks. Some people got like kitchen knives and stuff, as they're kind of all coming up this way. He looks at his shoulder, kind of. Name of your boat.
Stormfeather.
Could have been taken by pirates.
It was taken by the ocean, not pirates.
Simone did never believe that he was dead. Now you have this group of people that is like muttering and people looking and like people visibly kind of confused and frightened, but not seeming to want to do, not wanting to go over without a fight, but nobody's drawn any arms yet. Or not started to fight anyway. Everybody's just kind of milling about. Nobody's attacked anything.
This was Julian's home for years. He probably knows this guy.
Yeah, you do. But
Will-
you are vastly different from the last time.
Right, no. I was saying, like, he will call him by name and say something about him, like, about an event or another person. Like, do you remember when your son, shat himself drunk at the Winter Festival or something like that?
But one more check straight. One more persuasion check, just straight roll.
You said persuasion?
Mhm.
Not proficient, so that would be an 18.
An 18, you rattle off some history.
+4 charisma do be slapping.
with this group of folks all around you that do seem frightened but determined. Tensions don't go away all the way. You're still something to see. And you have some heavily armed and armored companions around of you, one of which is a frogman. They probably haven't run into ever.
How wrecked is that door?
Very. He ripped it off its hinges.
Oh shit.
It's a regular wooden ass door, and he just fucking hit it with Eldritch Blast.
Okay, I didn't know if he had like crushed it in. Okay.
No, it's because I got the pole version.
He
so
yoinked.
just-
All right, fair enough. I was like, oh, maybe I can, replace the frame and mend it a little bit.
But as you finish, your recollections, Julian, man does seem kind of looks confused, but what the hell happened to you?
I don't have time. Where is she?
Gone.
Where?
Seaton with your brother.
All right.
Got her a while
and
back.
He is already heading back to the horse.
Julian, what's going on? What?
Blue just like holds up his hands and too tired to hear this man's voice. Like, Bart, can you talk to him, please? I'll go talk to Julian.
Hey, sir.
I'm after Julian.
His wife could be in danger. He's just trying to find him. He's been trying to keep a low profile.
He's been gone for years.
Well, I mean, you see what he looks like now. He didn't want to come
Yeah.
back. Yeah, well, she's in danger, and a man like Julian ain't going to let his wife be in danger. So he come as quickly as he could. We only found out about it about lunch today. We've been riding ever since from Saltmarsh.
Shit.
I don't know how well you knew Julian. Can you help us out? You got any extra horses? These things are about near dead.
Persuasion check.
Hey.
Which is at disadvantage because you're exhausted.
Yeah. 13 plus 5, so 18.
18. Solid. We don't got much in the way of riding horses. We mostly fishing village and pulling carts, but we got some draft horses, I suppose.
Didn't we have one of our horses already suffer another level of exhaustion?
Yep. So far, y'all, one horse has a level of exhaustion.
Were there any like small sailing boats, like something that could be operated by 1 or 2 people?
I mean, probably so within the village.
Julian, like looking back at the horse, because you said it's a significantly longer journey from here to Seaton, correct?
From here, about a little over a day's travel for a normal journey, or just like it would, it's probably another 2 or 3 days of pretty quick travel.
Okay. Julian will come back.
I need to buy a boat. Or rent it. Whatever.
One more time for me, buddy. Sorry.
No. He came back and
I need to buy a boat. Or rent a boat.
Where you going? Taking it to Seaton?
To Seaton and back.
Damn it all, man. Just take the damn boat. Come here. And he kind of hobbles on down to what little, like, they're weird little, like, tiny docks I've got, kind of showing you to where his boat is. And it's, like you said, it's a small one. It's one meant to be operated by, like, him and, like, his son. Like, just a couple man boat.
All aboard.
You're muted, bud.
Yeah, I'm gonna give that guy a handshake and just slip him 5 gold. I really appreciate it. If you look after these horses until we get back. We should be back in a day or 2. Yeah.
Day or 2. All right. Well, we'll keep an eye on them.
Didn't you say it was like
to get there?
Oh, to get there. Okay.
Yeah.
We're looking at like 6 days.
A few days. A week. Okay. I'll make it 20 gold then.
Oh shit! And that man a lot of money. Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Should be happy.
Hey, wait.
Hey, make sure Simone and her boy are all right. That's good folk.
I'll start trying to help Julian and everyone set up the boat and everything, and I'm just like falling over stuff. Well, we can't keep up this pace, but maybe Bart, maybe you can try and message him again, right, Julian? Show him do the magic again. Show the picture.
Yeah, I can give it a shot. You said you have a picture of your brother?
Oh, I thought we'd lost Ian. He didn't move at all.
Nope, I'm right here.
Oh.
I'm just watching.
Did we have any in the house?
I don't know.
I was just talking about the minor illusion that you summoned up last time.
I completely forgot I had that. Yeah,
I mean, you can do one of your wife as well.
That's what I was
minor illusion, my wife.
Okay, you
right.
minor illusion. His wife.
This is her. This is Simone.
All right.
Okay.
I will take that into account and try to do everything I can to get a proper mental connection with the woman that I see in that illusion.
Mm-hmm.
Here, wait.
Okay.
And Glue will run. It's half speed, so it's not very fast. But he'll run over to the house, and I'll like grab something out of Julian's wife's dresser or something. Grab like a sweater or something, like clothes, and I'll come out and hand it to Bart. I don't know.
Like a blouse.
Yeah.
just some
A frog.
Wait, dude. You don't dress your kid in this, do you?
We'll just take the blouse.
Oh.
If it helps.
Okay. I hope you don't dress your kid
He
in
has
that.
not stopped like preparing for an ocean voyage during this.
You're doing it. You're tired. Currently, the only person I think who doesn't have any levels of exhaustion is Jakob.
Because he's strong.
Big
That
con
plus
save.
7 con save is different.
Nice. Hell Yeah, I'll blow a message to see if I can get a message to her.
Okay. Send it.
This,
Count
this
it
is,
off.
All right. I'm a friend of Julian's. Are you okay? You are in danger. Respond to me immediately. That's it.
That's it.
Got 7 more words. You sure?
Yep.
Do. Anywho, sorry, it's very situated.
By the way, I make a mean risotto.
God damn it.
I heard you made good stew.
Yeah.
Okay. It is the middle of the night when you send this message.
No way we lost him right there. Oh, he's back.
Uh-oh.
Okay, he's back.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
yeah, we
I was
can
okay,
hear
I
and
was
see
like,
you. We're good.
Because I was like, I never lost you guys, and I was like, what happened?
I'd be like,
Okay.
man, that'd be a hell of a cliffhanger right there.
That would be a hell of a cliffhanger. But after a few moments, you do receive a very sleepy response. Oh God. Okay, I should have had you do a voice for your fucking wife so that I would have something to go off of.
Hey, Southern Belle.
She sounds like a Gilbert
I do
Gottfried.
declare the
I do declare. Who are you? Who calls upon me at this late hour?
Oh, I got nah.
Oh, no. Who the fuck? Oh, bruv.
No.
Oh, so you sounded like this before the accident too. Y'all just sound like that.
Oh God.
It's like,
oh
yeah,
God.
are you
Okay.
not
okay.
actually from Seton?
It's the Seton accent, right?
Tuesday night.
That's
Anywho.
why Yakub's wife left him, was that damn fucking accent. He's like, why can't you just talk like a normal Seton
Why
boy?
can't you just talk like the rest of us? What's wrong with
man.
you?
You think you're bad, everyone? Talking like a fucking elf.
I know the one with them crazy. She's just.
Oh no. Okay, we're spiraling out of control.
My fucking stomach hurts.
Oh, my face hurts.
Okay. Serious time. We're serious time. Damn it. Bring it down. Bring it in. Bring it in.
Panic.
What? Julian, myself and I'm well. Abari said something similar, but I'm not sure from what. It just cuts off. There's a woman woken up from like REM sleep.
She wasted a lot of us in there that were just like, uh-oh.
How many times can I and count as words?
She doesn't do magic.
I don't want to pee. No. Julian, your wife's fine. I just woke her up in her sleep.
You spoke to her.
Yeah, it went through.
Excellent. Gotta get there.
All right, but maybe we should leave in the morning.
Make a persuasion check.
Sure. It's a natural 1, but I can re-roll them.
If
It's a 19. Okay, it's 19 to 24 total.
It is a disadvantage though.
Ah, shit.
You gotta reroll the 1, roll 1 more d20, and if the 19.
Okay, so 19. And
However, if Gloob assists him by just very tiredly dragging his bucket over to the side to try to fill it up with water.
Sure. Sure.
Yaku, can you help me, please?
Yeah, of course, Glue.
I call
pick it
Yaku's
up.
just fine.
Yeah. I was like, I'm good. I'm good.
What, y'all haven't
I'm
ridden
good,
at
I'm
breakneck
good, I'm
speeds
good.
before?
You said she is okay.
Yeah, she's fine. She's just sleeping. She's with your brother. And there didn't seem to be a tussle in the house, and it didn't seem like anything was out of order, like they left quickly or anything.
Enough guns for yet.
Right.
All right, but we leave before the dawn.
And he's
All right.
already heading over to force himself into probably an incredibly unrestful sleep.
She's gonna go sleep in your house with no door.
Yep.
Me and Yaka will take a few minutes in between his muscles and my mending, try and get that door at least semi propped back up to where it was.
Looks like a bit of an abomination, but I mean,
it's
it's
probably gonna be one of those kind of things when you get the door open.
It's still missing like a whole chunk where the tentacle just ripped off part of the like handle. Like there's no handle on it anymore.
Oh, I thought you said he ripped it off of its hinges.
He did. There was extra damage.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna
There's two separate eldritch blasters going.
I'm gonna try to drive a stake in the wall and in the door, so you can make like a little knot with some rope to keep it.
Sure.
All right.
The door's on there.
Fiddle with it for a few minutes, and after Bart being exhausted as fuck, a rope with a stake, seems good enough for me.
There's a lot of very confused townspeople. Just like, but so you guys don't leave with the boat and seem to chill out. They just kind of slowly drift off to their own homes. So you guys gather within the Ibari household. A little trashed right about now, but I mean, looks like a nice little place under normal circumstances.
Yeah.
Sleep.
Everybody just crashing the fuck out.
Gloop's still on the boat in his bucket.
Oh yeah, I'll help
on the boat in the bucket.
I'll help Gloob. I can't remember if we've determined if you can purify salt out of water.
I think we covered that. It would rest him just fine either way. I think.
I mean, but natural, non-salt. I don't know. Maybe Gloob prefers salt water.
Gloob does not prefer salt water.
Then I will cast purify on it.
Sure.
Purify
Why not?
I got a free one today.
So I think it makes water drinkable, right? So so it would remove the salt from the salt water.
It's just like that super slightly salty, so it's like
tastes a little bit like chlorine.
Why did you have to say that? Come on, man.
You cleaned it up, man. You had to use the chemicals.
Or like when you put one of those like hydration packets in a bottle of water. It's like just a little salty aftertaste, like.
All right.
I'm gonna grab one of the spare pieces of wood and act like I'm about to start whittling, and then just fall asleep, knife in hand. Probably not the safest thing, but...
Are you falling asleep in your plate mail?
I would take it off when I sat down I would sit down to take it off and then grab some wood and then fall asleep.
Everybody's just crashing out. All right.
So, rules as written, it says you must get 6 hours of sleep as part of a long rest. So that is exactly what Julian's doing.
I will say that. Julian, if you're trying to make sure you get it, you're waking up exactly on the dot, but you have a level of exhaustion, roll a Constitution saving throw for me. See if you can yoink yourself up at the dot of 6 hours.
He's doing his best. That'll be a 14 with my giant +1 bonus.
So 14, you're able to, at 6 hours ish, drag yourself awake.
I'm surprised that gets it through.
14's quite a bit above like an average roll.
Yeah, the first.
You feel shitty.
Gray light of pre-dawn. He's going to pop up and start throwing things together for the journey.
Pop up is a strong word.
Lurch up.
But you guys do complete your long rest barely. By the very barest margins of the description.
Lube is sleeping. Lube's like, I'm going to wake up early to help Julian.
How heavy is Lube?
How heavy am I?
Not very.
Would I be able to carry him?
He's
You know
in the
what?
boat
Just-
already.
I meant to say fuck you, Bart, for buying me that health potion. My weight was at 69 pounds. You made it 69.5.
Dick.
Get wrecked.
So I'm at 69.5 pounds. That's my
Give it back.
inventory. I'm probably like 50 pounds.
Wishful thinking.
Yeah.
If he's on the boat, then I'll leave him on the boat. But if he was in the house, then I would carry him from the house.
No. I
Apparently he
slept
wouldn't
on the
sleep
boat. That's where we
Okay.
filled up my tub at.
All right.
Schlumped in the tub.
In that case, Luke, if he was asleep in the tub on the boat, he is probably still asleep when we set sail.
Good night, sweet prince. Pats on head.
Unless anyone wakes me up.
Okay. That y'all
As he,
rolling out.
Julian's hustling the other two on the boat. You can sleep on the boat.
If you need me to do something, I can do it. I'm not too tired. I'm sore from the ride, but if it needs to get done, it can get done.
How many levels of exhaustion did Julian have?
He just had the one.
Okay,
Yeah,
and I also
he got
had
some
one.
lucky rolls. Yeah.
Okay, so Gloob's the only one with levels of exhaustion right now, right?
Correct.
You have two more still?
Yeah.
Oof. Okay.
I hate the fucking hit this thing, bro.
All right. Yeah, let's keep going. I'll try and help with the rush of things, even though Bart's not moving too fast. You know, his bones are achy in the morning. But I'll cast Unseen Servant to help getting ropes tied where they need to go and that type kind of thing.
Right.
Unseen sailor.
Yeah, Unseen Sailor.
God damn it.
I'll cast a Ghost of Saltmarsh.
Oh no.
There it is.
God damn
That's the
you.
name drop.
Roll credits. Roll credits.
Roll credits. That's the end, folks.
That's it.
That's the campaign.
Rocks fall. Everybody dies. The end.
That's fair.
All right.
And away we go.
You know, get underway. Probably taking a few minutes to have to get underway. Y'all are now out on the water. 1 second.
Gloob will probably wake up afternoon. Oh, we gotta go. Oh, we're already gone. All right, that's good.
I will toss Gloob some good berry toast. It's cold, but it's good.
What time would you say Julian woke up there, DM?
With about 6 hours.
Mm-hmm.
He's waking up probably around 8, a little after midnight, so probably closing on 7 a.m.
6:30 to 7.
So if I slept until 1 p.m., would I be sleeping off 2 levels of exhaustion?
Negatory Ghost Rider.
Shit buckets.
You cannot benefit from a long rest more than once every 24 hours.
Shoot. Okay.
A valiant effort.
I have to ask.
Valiant effort, to be sure. Of course. Absolutely. I'm not criticizing. All right. All right.
I will say lightly to Gloob, Yakov's horse runs funny as hell. I'm glad I didn't have to be on the back of him that whole thing. I can imagine how tired it's got to be bouncing up and down on that thing's ass.
I still don't think that's a weird phrasing, but yeah. I still don't know how to ride a horse well. I couldn't do it on the way to the brain if you don't fucking work. Dread Forest? No.
Earl.
Well, I mean, them
Yeah.
bigger folk like horses, and I mean, they can sit on them fine. They can kind of get their legs to bend around them. We can't do that. We're just got a leg spread out. I mean,
Yeah, but it's also incredible curl his legs up. I just don't have a butt like y'all.
Oh yeah, I reckon that's true.
So I
You
gotta
shoulda
sit
just-
on my back and it hurts a lot.
I mean, if you wouldn't have,
Yeah, I reckon you can't really grab around its neck or anything. You'll poison it.
Yep.
We should just get a wagon on the way back. Say the heck with it.
Tried to see if they had a wagon at the place Julian stole the horses from. Fortunately, Julian was out of there, so I had to be on a horse before they left me.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Jakob. Jakob.
Yeah.
Get
Yeah,
Jakob
what's
into
up?
the huddle.
This is a very
Everyone's talking.
small boat.
We're at the front of the boat. Julian's at the back doing the.
Like that, yeah. This is a tiller boat. This does not have
Right,
a wheel or
right.
anything.
Jakob, do you know
Boat's kind of dipping a little bit.
Jakob, do you know how to there's like any nice clothing places in Seaton?
I mean, there's tailors, like, I
Yeah,
imagine
but I
probably.
mean, you know where one's at, like in specific, like a good one to go to.
I mean, my wife had some dresses made while we were there, so DM. I imagine I would know where one is, right?
Like a nicer like dressmaking place.
Yeah.
Not a dressmaking place, a place where you can make Julian not look like he literally just crawled out of the fucking swamp to see his wife for the first time in a few years.
Well, when I think fancy clothes, I think tailor, and the tailor that I would think of is the tailor my wife would go to get her dress made.
I would
So-
say you know of some good tailors.
Yeah, I know one.
Maybe we should make a little pit stop for Julian before he goes to see his wife for the first time in a little while. You know.
Yeah, that's not such a bad idea, though. I mean, it'll still be a bit of a shock.
Yep.
I
Yep.
imagine.
Get some clothes that match mine.
Oh yeah, that's
Good.
true.
You do look very nice.
Be a nice
Yeah.
above board ship captain looking fella.
Y'all keep talking. I'm gonna walk back to Julian. I'm gonna take the folded and now soaked blouse of Julian's wife and just say, "Here you go," and hand it over to you. I forgot it was.
Thank you.
Forgot it was
You
my
will
backpack.
press
Sorry.
the water out of it and very, very carefully fold it. Place it somewhere safe-ish on the boat.
This is a dumb question I'm about to ask, but are you okay?
I don't know.
She's okay for right now. So that's good. And we're on our way. We got your back.
Thank you.
Don't push yourself too hard. This one's more simple. I think I can do this. When you get tired, you let me know. You and I can switch out on this.
I'm fine. But thank you.
For now. Well, we got a couple of days from what I understand. When you get tired, you need to be rested so we can protect her when we get there.
Right.
Give him the old, the way that Glue knows how to show affection, which is how Barda showed him, and that's the pat on the shoulder.
Yeah. I'll do that in character.
I'm literally within Julian's line of sight, 4 fucking feet away.
Yeah.
I imagine Julian is probably not really in the appropriate mental capacity for any form of banter, so yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of hang out until Julian decides that he's gonna trade off, I guess, steering of the ship.
There's
The
like
helm.
a sail.
Yeah, the
There's-
helm.
He probably has like one hand on the tiller and the other hand on like a singular rope
Yeah, yeah.
controlling the
exactly.
sail.
Sir, this is not a ship, this is a boat.
I will
This is a dinghy.
assist in whatever Julian needs me to do, but while I am doing that, I will also look a little glum.
Big set.
Don't you always kind of look like you're super fucking
A little bit more glum than usual.
I'm not trying. This is Kit the asshole, not Bart the nice guy.
Yes,
Like, don't you-
Jacob usually does look sad, but he looks a little bit more sad.
You're just some guy liner away from.
Hey, I could go to that concert in Las Vegas. Headline.
I
All
got
right.
your picture.
Okay.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh shit, we don't have a kitchen on this boat, do we?
That's all right. I can make berries. It ain't the same as cooking, but it'll get us. It'll get us through. Well, Julian, I mean, tell us a little bit about your wife. We're about to meet her for the first time, and when I say, "Oh my God, she's told me all about you," I don't want to be lying. We got 2 full days.
Deception check.
Takes a really high insight bonus. So. Focus. Focus, guys. Focus.
I was.
People can't see the memes.
Oh, they're about to. Watch them.
That was good.
Oh, God. Focus. Focus.
What do you want to know?
I mean, what's she like?
Sweet. Beautiful. Spirited if you don't do what you're supposed to.
You ever seen her punch a guy with a closed fist?
No.
I mean, see, that's a pretty good measure of what kind of woman she is.
You have
Wait, are you-
confused both Cody and Jakob. Or, and Julian.
Good.
No, you confused Jacob too. Is that a bad thing?
I mean,
My
I
wife
don't
does that all the time.
What?
know. No, it's just how she.
Well, not to me. Somebody will make a crass comment or something at a bar or tavern.
just
You
punch
know, I used to go to those a lot, and yeah, she'd give him a good punch.
Oh, she doesn't go to bars.
Oh,
All right, so she's a more upstanding type of lady. She's more kind of proper like, right?
We have a drink at home now and again. Bottle of wine for a good season.
Julian is like the least like fisherman
God.
fisherman to ever have fisherman. Like have a bottle of wine, some Chardonnay, you know. It's an excellent year. You think, my dear?
So it was expensive wine, alright?
We do have fun at the festivals. In the village.
Right. I mean, what do y'all kind of do for fun? Like, she ever go fishing with you or ride out on the boat or anything like that?
She doesn't much like being on the water.
Oh hell, we got so much in common already.
She likes dancing. She likes to make things.
Oh yeah, what
She's
kind of
too-
stuff she make?
One moment while I open a lore document.
I'm so sorry,
Points.
Cody.
Points at little like the little thing that's attached to Gloom's fucking.
Oh, she's a fucking witch.
the nightmare fuel.
Holy shit. She's a fucking.
She makes voodoo dolls.
Oh no.
She likes to make drugs.
Oh my
Black Puff, like a heroin?
She likes to make drugs and call people bitch.
Good God.
She crafts jewelry from shells and things she finds on the beach.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
She also likes to sew.
All right.
Doesn't
so-
make full articles of clothing, but small embroidery and repairs.
Right. That's good. Sounds like a really lovely lady.
Very. The loveliest.
Yeah. I mean, for the sake of just sitting here and forcing Cody to improv for hours on end, I assume I'll go through the whole like, oh, how'd you meet? Blah blah blah. Kids, that type kind of thing. We're gonna get the full dossier on
You
all
tell
of
me-
Julia.
Improv, you're saying you don't think Cody has all this written down already?
I don't know. Maybe he does. If you have it written down already, send me the doc so I'll know by next session.
Right. You think you're getting there next session? That's crazy.
Oh, I mean,
Oh no.
fucking Willie's about to come knock the boat over, I guess, or some shit like that.
Kraken tentacle.
I'm gonna look at Julian and say, how tall is she? You know, I don't know. I've never met the woman. Is she as tall as Gloob? Is she as tall as me? My wife, she's gonna like stand on my tip. She's like this tall.
You're standing?
So she's like 6'3".
And Jakob stands and Bart's doing one of these like, oh God, what are you doing in this tiny boat?
The whole boat.
Yeah, he's like, oh shit.
Oh, sorry. She's very, very tall.
A few inches shorter than me, I suppose.
Oh, that's nice.
Immediate loss of interest.
Fucking Jakob's like, yeah, must be fucking nice. Married Gigantess over here. Okay, we're getting so sidetracked tonight. All right.
I'm killing Ian.
What?
Yeah, he will, tell you about how they met and the fact that she is a merchant's daughter from a fairly successful merchant in Seaton. They met while doing business.
Is that what they call it now?
You're probably getting all those same jabs on the boat, to be completely honest.
Not from Glue, because he doesn't understand culture.
I will say, my wife's family is also in our merchants. Yeah, I know all that business that you get up to. Elbow him a little bit.
With what very little emotional capacity Julian has left, he looks scandalized.
Julian's such a prude.
Well, I mean, when we get in town, we're gonna get you to a tailor right quick and get you fixed up before you go on out to meet your wife. I mean,
What?
He hadn't seen her in years. At least put on something that's a little bit better than what you got on. She's fine. I can message her again right now if you want to make sure she's safe. I can do it again when we land.
Just with the clear revelation that he has not even thought about what he looks like since this whole thing started. Just kind of looks down. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need to worry about that.
We'll get
the tailor that made my wife's dresses, he does a great job. You'll look gorgeous.
Handsome.
Handsome, that's the word.
He will just kind of...
Yeah, I mean...
all right.
Yeah, we'll get you taken care of.
Anything else anybody would like to conversate about on this first day?
Yeah, I guess I'll ask Jakob. I mean, you said your wife is from here. Do you think she might still be in town, or she went back with her family that's over near the Dreadwood, or?
Well,
on that?
I mean, last time that I knew, she was still in Seaton, still at the house that we had there. I'm not sure. Past that, she's been a little quiet since I left.
I mean, maybe there's some mail for you at the house.
Maybe.
We can swing by there real quick while Julian's getting his fitting done.
I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah.
I'd like to do that.
Okay. That being said, yes, sail through that first night. Out of curiosity, are y'all trying to sleep on the boat, pulling it up onto the shore, or are you trying to push through the night? What are y'all doing?
Julian will be spending the day trying to show Gloob how to operate the boat. so that they can just keep going.
Yeah, I've
We'll sleep in shifts.
I mean, I sailed on the bigger ship, but I'll definitely sit there and watch him for the better part of the day. And then, like, I'll say when he's getting ready to turn in, probably like last hour and a half, I'll go over there and sit beside Julian and just let him talk me through the process. And like maybe the last 15 or so take over and just have you watch.
Before while you're doing that, I'll say, isn't it dangerous to sail at night? Like, really dangerous? Because, I mean, we can't really tell what's what. I mean, maybe you can. You can see in the dark. I don't know
Can I
about...
see?
Oh, yeah, you have those weird goggles. So, I mean...
What, DM, how does it function if I were to make the dome around this boat and like another boat were to crash into it? Would it just like kind of hamster ball with the dome anchor in one location and we just pass through it and it would just get dispelled instantly?
I mean, raw. Technically, that's how it would work.
Yeah.
This is a point in space. But who knows? It's a mystery. You have to try and find out.
Sure, I'll try it.
Just because it brings me joy, roll a d20 plus your casting modifier.
All right.
As you try to like tie it to the boat itself.
That's a 7.
Swear to God,
All
if
right,
this
I
thing
got
fucking
it.
grabs me and yeets me off.
It does not tie to the boat. You just sail right through it, and then as soon as Bart's outside of it, boop.
All right. Well, that does not work. So now we know.
It was nice for about 5 seconds. Hey,
You know what? Does that stop wind? I just realized, like, would that just make us be dead in the water anyway?
Yeah, actually, it would. Y'all would not be able to move.
Yeah, let's not do that in any case. All right, well, I guess I'll hunker on down, get some shut eye.
So you're passing it off for Gloob to sail. How much dark vision do you have, Gloob?
60 feet, I believe.
Okay. So, all right. This is more challenging, I'll say.
I can cast a light if you need it.
How far out does the light reach?
Not as far as his dark vision.
No, that's what I figured. So, all right. Is anybody staying awake with Gloob, or is it just Gloob Man and the tiller?
I was
should
helping
probably
Julian
have
turn.
2-2'd it.
Just like, I mean, I can stay up with Glue. That's fine.
All right.
Yeah, I would have been sleeping part of the day and then
Right.
woken up for that last hour with Julian.
Okay. So, Gloob, what I want from you, a d20 plus your dexterity modifier.
Okay.
So you are not yet proficient.
Okay.
And you're relying purely upon your reflexes at this juncture.
If I were to spin the sword, would that give me some advantage to do
It would help for a bit.
ability? Okay. All right. Just a d20
enhanced
plus
ability lasts for an hour.
plus my dex. Yeah.
Mhm.
Not great. That's a 9.
A 9 total.
Yep. That's a,
Okay. And did you use Captain's Talent?
Yeah, I would have used it. Is that an advantage?
Yeah. Go ahead and roll an advantage for me.
Much better. That's an 18 on the dice for a 23 total.
There we go. All
We
right.
do like Captain's Talent.
So you struggle. You feel yourself starting to get hung up on something at one point as you drift way too close to the shore. You're able to ride it. You get back out. You kind of ping pong back and forth because you start getting out a little too deep and the waves start rocking the boat because the boat is so low. You start
This
We're
is
back in.
all normal. If anybody wakes up at any point, you definitely hear Gloob talking himself through this. This is totally fine. I'm not about to kill all of us at all.
Like, so
Oh,
you
that's
just
good
you
news.
can't see. You're struggling to see well enough to avoid like if there are bigger waves or whatever. But you're able to, using your reflexes, like fast froggy reflexes, you're able to avoid any unfortunate incidents.
Wonderful.
But sailing you through the night, probably not going as fast as Julian would have, not making quite as much progress, but still making forward progress throughout the night, which will bring us to the morning. And do y'all just swap over?
Yeah, let the
Two of you go to sleep.
little ones get some nap in.
Okay. I will say,
I'll, get that good berry toast going before going to sleep.
having sailed through the night, even going at a slower pace, y'all will arrive before y'all are able to finish a long rest. So that with y'all's pace, you're probably you may be able to squeeze it in. Maybe if Julian slows it down a smidge.
I mean, they can just go on to the tailor. Jacob
I
knows
am-
where it's at.
I'm so sorry to tell you, Julian will not be slowing it down.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So
Bart has no inkling of this, so he's just going to sleep, just thinking it is what it is.
right. So you sail into the morning, having not stopped. So y'all's rest was probably not the greatest because small boat, it's wet. You know,
I actually
rocking.
I feel like my rest would probably be a lot better than Jakob and Julian's, because Jakob and Julian have to lay down in the boat. But
Yeah, you're
but
shorter. Yeah,
I'm shorter, and I don't have to sleep next to anyone because Gloom's in a freaking barrel or his tub or whatever. So I'm just like,
Yeah, but you didn't get to cuddle with Julian all night.
Yeah, you missed out.
Noted. Moving on. As you get into the late hours of the morning, not quite noon, coming up on the town of Seaton, which is, Julian, was once smaller by a good bit. At some point it was smaller, but since the military and the crown turned their attention back towards the coastal cities, and this became the foothold of the Duke here in the region, it grew both in military presence, kind of sprouting up. This started out as like a smaller palisade, and it was built up upon until it's this. It's not a pretty wall, and it's not like a purely stone wall, but like a heavily fortified, large wooden wall that encompasses with you think there's stone reinforcements in place, but not like a full castle wall, but with some kind of slummy areas that have kind of popped up outside. It's become much more bustling inside, where it was once just like a larger version of Saltmarsh, like a good bit bigger. It was a big fishing town, but has become much more of a center of commerce due to the influence of the crown and the people that they attracted with their arrival. So sailing on up to the docks that are much, much bigger than the ones that you guys are all familiar with. Gloob, this is sight to see.
I probably don't see it because I'm probably
'cause
still
you're
asleep
asleep.
whenever. So
Yeah,
I'm
you're still
probably gonna
asleep.
wake up on the boat while everybody's gone, or me and Bart at least, and then see it.
So
But
the
yeah.
two people who have been here before are awake to approach Seaton, and the two people who have never been there before are fucking asleep. God damn it. But familiar side of the much larger docks, as you guys pull up on Seaton to explore, find your wife, get some new threads. Who knows what else? What other trouble you'll get into? That's where we're going to go ahead and call it for this
shit.
session.
All right.
Phew.
That was a
So-
good session, man.
Thank you guys so much for joining me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed yourselves as much as I did. That went about as well as I could have imagined. That was very interesting. That was a lot went on this session. I'm very pleased. I look forward to seeing where we go as we continue. But that being said, I don't know, Jones. Did you say we had or had not? Have we fixed our links? Do we have our links to our new? Okay,
We do.
So we do have our links down below for the charity. We're doing another Extra Life. Oh God, fucking damn it! I can't avoid throwing dice even when I'm not at home. We have started doing another charity drive for Extra Life, which is children's charity that benefits children's hospitals across continental North America, meaning the United States and Canada. Specifically, ours will benefit the Children's Hospital of Atlanta. So that's good stuff. And not only will you feel good and be doing good things by donating to this charity, you could also win some cool stuff. I don't remember our exact benchmarks that we set up for these prizes, but I believe we still have our digital copy of Tasha's Cauldron and everything that you could win, our SteelSeries gaming mouse that you could win, and a SteelSeries gaming keyboard that you could also win there at the very end. I think it is split into 3 chunks of $2,000 being our total goal, if I recall what was discussed previously. But yeah, so take a look at those links, open up your hearts and wallets. It's a good cause, and you can win some cool stuff. That being said, we do this campaign here every Monday, the Ghost Saltmarsh crew, with myself as the Dungeon Master at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, going towards 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Most of the time, sometimes we let into a little early depending on events, or a little late depending on events. But then on Saturday, we have our Across Eberron campaign, which I can't see my stuff at all, so Gloob is somewhere here around me. This gentleman, Johns, he is our Dungeon Master for that game, and some of the rest of us fellows that are here for this also play in that game, plus some new and friendly faces most of the time that play in that game. It's a whole lot of fun, and it actually isn't as much of a shit fest as it was the last few times I signed off at Saltmarsh, so it's a little more relaxed. We got some cool stuff. We hit level 11. We got some magic tattoos. It's a good time. Nobody's crazy and nobody's dead. Some people got promotions even. It's crazy. Be like that sometimes. But yeah, so come check us out for that. In the meantime, we're going to raid somebody. I don't know who it's going to be. Jones is going to choose today since I am away from my regular domicile.
Jeez, I breathed right into my mic. Sorry. It's TPK roleplay today.
Awesome. So we're going to raid TPK roleplay, show them some love. They do the TTRPG things as well, so we want to support our lovely community of playing role-playing games, being giant fucking nerds, because it's fun. So yeah, we'll see y'all next time. Bye.
Bye.